we're going to do this then. 20 out of 10 would be right again. Good, good. Thank you, Grant, man. All right, you know how it's been, right? Like we've done coaching sessions in the past. It's going to be a lot like that.
2 or 3.
We got about 8 people watching right now. Hopefully that grows to a bunch of like angry, super critical people that will be chiming in and making fun of both of us, because then we'll get some good conversation going. But
That's fun.
I'm going to start from the top. All right, man. So what are we doing here? What do you want to learn? Like why get coaching? What are we trying to do?
Well, the biggest thing is decision making on top. And
But I
transferring
mean,
my league.
take a step back. What's your goal? What's your end game? What do you want to do with this?
Well, climb, obviously.
To where?
Climb. Honestly, I'd be happy with gold, but if I can get my skill cap up higher than that.
Okay, so
that'd be
climb as high as possible.
Yeah.
And I've watched you play and stuff, man. Like you sent me a bunch of videos. Like we can do that. Okay, so let's do this. And you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I got your screen.
And we're trying to.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, no worries. And I always ask, but climb to get better, climb to just have a rank so you can get a girlfriend, because that's the thing sometimes people ask for when I do coaching. As weird as that sounds.
I mean, climb to get better, because if you climb to get better, then you're going to ultimately climb in your elo anyway. But...
Okay, cool. Works for me. So right now, we are at silver 4. Short-term goal, I'm going to say, is gold. Okay. Yeah. Sound fair? That's very reasonable.
Breaking my 10-game losing streak would make me feel really good if we could pull that off.
We can do that. I'm actually, if you listen to me, we should be able to do that very quickly. I watched a few of those videos like over my lunch break and stuff today. Like I'm double speed, but I saw some stuff that's pretty straightforward. That'll help. But again, just trying to figure out the main goal. Long-term goal is like climb as high as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That one I'm more excited about, because like I'm going to use you ideally as an example to flex my coaching muscles a little and show people what I can do. So this is going to be a fun partnership, because I'm going to see if we can get you higher than where I am. But that is my goal. You laugh.
You're gonna try to LS it, huh?
Yeah. You laugh, but no, I think it's more than doable. So
well, you're a nicer guy than LS. So
LS, Last Shadow, people watching the stream, I have no idea what I'm talking about, thinks that you have to be born with the League of Legends gene in your brain. I think you just have to try hard and focus on very specific things that you suck at that are super important to the game. And if you do that, you'll be able to climb to a certain point. Now, you might not be, playing against Double Lift after, a couple months of me coaching you. I'd be impressed with myself if you were. But I can get you to a point where you could get a college scholarship for playing League of Legends, I'm assuming, because I've done it for other people. So I don't know if that's interesting to you because you already have a gig and whatever, but some people it is.
Yeah, 2 jobs and student full-time. I wouldn't be interested in any extra money.
Yeah, don't worry about that. No, nobody wants extra money for anything, okay? So let's do this. And then my goal is, here, right now, I'm not even diving right now. I got to try hard on my main account now that Sejuani is bigger. But let's say 95 plus, okay?
Yeah. I mean, short term, though, gold is reasonable. That's something that we could probably
what your short term should be is this. And realistically, what your short term should be is, just this.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, don't pay attention to rank because it doesn't freaking matter. Like here, you're silver 4 right now. If you get to gold 5, are you gonna get promoted at work? Is your girlfriend, boyfriend going to marry you, or is anything going to freaking change at all?
Oh, if only she would marry me.
But see, sorry for sore spots. Maybe we'll find out when you hit gold what really happens. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is the rank itself doesn't matter. Even because it's a video game, until you get to a certain point in the skill tier, until you get plugged in with the right people, it doesn't necessarily matter, right?
Yeah.
So I would focus more on this, and if you focus on this, and I can show you the specific things, because improve is vague, and that's just kind of dumb, so I'll be like, improve on these 10 things which we can measure and actually show improvement on, which is the whole point of this session. Then you'll look down and you'll be like, oh, I'm like platinum. That's weird. But because you were focusing on the right things, you probably didn't even notice that you got the thing you were trying to get in the first place. Other people will be hard stuck focusing on getting an arbitrary number on a rank which has a little bit of random chance thrown in anyway. This is solo queue too, right?
Yeah,
I
I
noticed that you
stopped.
play with some buddies, which is fine,
I
but
stopped playing with the buddies when I lost my silver 3 because I was helping one of my buddies in bronze. I lost
mhm.
one game and silver 3 at 0 LP, and it demoted me, which felt really
Yeah,
bad.
like if you're playing with people ranked lower than you, you got to play really well, otherwise it messes with your MMR in the background. Which is why I was recommending like learning on a Smurf or whatever if you're worried about your silver 4 MMR. But again, like I don't think this matters.
No, I'm leveling that Smurf specifically to duo with people, so I can focus on
Cool.
this one with.
That's another thing too. No, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I was saying it might be interesting to take that Smurf that you get fresh at level 30, and then once we get done on with the coaching sessions and stuff, figure out how far you can climb on that one. And I bet you'll climb a lot faster than one where your MMR is already set.
Well, it's only at level like 24, so once I get it to 30, I'll let you know and we can try it.
But at the same time, you probably don't have all the runes and masteries unlocked, all the champions unlocked, all this.
That can be done. My champion pool should stay small if I stick to the plan. So
Cool. I mean, that's something I want to work on too. All right, so this is good for me. Okay, so let's do this. Speaking of the small champion pool, let's go what role you're mainly focusing on, and then your sub role. Okay, you know what you queue as.
top jungle.
Top jungle, cool. And then what I want is your champ pool for these. I'm gonna tweak it a little, like I think you know how that works.
Yeah.
But who are we playing top? And why?
Top, I was playing Panth and Maokai is who I've been spamming. You saw an Alawi and Trundle game because I was tilted and bored. But
No worries.
um,
But this is fine. So is this your champ pool?
yeah, in certain situations I'll take a Malphite, like against a Camille, because I find him really strong against Camille.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
So here, let's do this. Okay. This is fine. There are a lot of like Lamalkai right now. Like I keep telling people whenever I get autofill top lane, like I don't know how to play him. I have 100% win rate on him this season. You know, he's just really strong right now because everyone is playing these little squishy 80 assassins top, and all he does is click W and then they die. You know, it doesn't take a lot of skill, a lot of poise to get to the just enough experience to be tanky and then click a button so your teammates can murder the squishy on the enemy team, right? So there's some stuff here that is ridiculously strong. There's other stuff like Trundle is very situational. He's good sometimes, horrible others. Malphite, like you said, good sometimes, like against a Camille who's going to go melee with you and just stack armor against you. Bad other times, like against some kind of range champion that can just shit on you, right?
yeah.
And there's ways to play around that, sure, but this is pretty good. Are you happy with this? Do you want to tweak it?
I'll probably. I'm not really strong with Alawi. I don't have many games on her, so I'm probably gonna eliminate her from the pool. Trundle, I had games on last season, so I'm a little more familiar with how he plays. But I've don't have a whole lot of games on Alawi even in normal, so I'm gonna probably stay away from her. I kept banning my own Maokai last night because I was paying attention. I banned him 3 times, so I was tilted and just kept.
Oh, no worries. I would actually play her right now.
You would?
She's pretty good in specific matchups, and another reason, like here, let's take her out of the mix, right? What happens to most of your champions against like a Jace?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's a skill matchup between some of them, but yeah, Jace, a good Jace should shit on any of those.
What about like a Darius?
Darius, I always have a problem with.
There's a reason you have a problem. He counters like your champion pool here because they're all melee. They all want to go in there. That's what he wants, you know?
Yeah.
So if you play Alawi, I know one of the games, I think you called it Tilted in the videos you sent me, was Alawi versus Darius. If you play her and you play this matchup correctly, you can safely farm, and if he chases you, it makes it really easy to land your E, where you pull his soul out of his body.
Yeah.
So I would leave her in here just because melee, kind of melee. You can spam your Q until you run out of mana, but melee when he goes in there, right?
So I should just get more games on her then to become more familiar. Because I know the game I sent you, I lost because he was a better Darius than I was in Alawi.
Yeah, like that game, I was watching it and I was like, oh man, there's a lot to work with here. Which is one of the reasons I'm saying you should leave this in here, especially if you like playing her. Because she shits on, the melee matchups that are stronger than your guys. Like Maokai is really, really good, but not because of his laning phase, right?
Yeah.
He needs to scale up a little. There's a couple different builds, and depending what you're going, you need to get enough AP from either like a Rod of Ages, Double Doran's type build, so that your Q instantly clears a wave, or you just need to survive long enough so that they can't kill you anymore. You can just out-sustain if you're passive, right? But during the lane,
get caught, walk through all 5 and all the turrets and still get
yeah,
away.
you mean starting a team fight as Maokai.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to get to that point where you become the Lamaukai, and you just take over, right? But his laning phase sucks. Alaoi, on the other hand, you can choose to play her a couple different ways. If it's a matchup you just shit on, you can go super aggressive, be in their face. If it's something where you need to keep your distance, you can get enough AD from your runes and masteries, get enough points in your Q, your big tentacle slam that you can just farm safely. And if they chase you, you always have your E to disengage. You always have your tentacle nest, which will heal you every time it hits them. So it's just really tough for anybody to do anything against you. And against like silver gold players, they're gonna dive you. Nobody's gonna do it right. Everybody's gonna miss the focus. They're gonna misjuggle the tower aggro, and then they're gonna start tilting, and then you're gonna win just because they're mad at each other for doing something really, really dumb. Like you can't do that as well with like a Malphite.
Yeah. No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm trying to sell you on her too because I think she's strong and I also want to learn more about her. So if I'm coming on too hard and you're like, no, I hate this. I hate the hentai. I don't want to deal with the tentacles. That's fine too.
God damn it. No, I don't hate her. I actually like playing her. I will need to play her more to become comfortable with her is what I was trying to express.
Yeah, got it. Well, that's fine. I mean, if we're starting from here, it'll be okay. I'm reading fishy stuff. Yeah, he's commenting that my green screen is gone. Yeah, this is the room that's been behind the entire time. My pig finally pulled my green screen down, so I'm rethinking how I'm going to do this. All right, going back to you, Falkenrath. Yeah, I think this is fine, man. This is good. I might cut one of them from the team. I think you said Malphite is just like an anti-Camille pick.
Yeah, that's the only time I play Malphite. I find that, especially in Silver, he's too reliant on the team following up.
I mean, have I shown you how you're supposed to play Malphite? Have you seen?
I'm not sure I've seen your video on how to play Malphite.
It's not a video. It's just... Where is it? Here, I think it's a flow chart. But like Malphite isn't too complicated. Yeah, here it is. Can you see okay?
Yeah.
Start up here. Is your ultimate up? Yes. Is there carry under 25% health? Yes. Go do your combo. No. Is their team all bunched up? Yes. Go do your combo. No. Throw your Q.
Yep. I mean, essentially, yeah.
And then when it's up, and the carry is under 25% health, you target the carry. Or if the enemy team is all bunched up, you just go in there. Then boom. Rinse and repeat. Sure, he's team reliant, but this is how it works, right?
Oh, yeah. It's the same reason I dumped Shen from my pool from last season is because he's so team reliant that I found that the ADCs or carries following up on my ults was...
Yeah, so I would stay away from Shen,
unreliable.
but Malphite, you decide when you go in or not, and it's good. He's team reliant in a good way. It's like, hey, I went in, I knocked all of them up, I pinged 4 times I was going in there. I'm gonna do it again in a minute when my ult is back up. Be ready next time.
Yeah,
and you're gonna find out real quick what's going on, and then if they're not following up on your perfect initiations for whatever reason, then just wait till the carry's done. Queue more. But like Malphite is this easy. So, and then you build them right, and there's some other stuff. Like, I guess you got a lane, but sure. My other question to you is, why don't you just want to learn Camille, who's really strong and not always banned?
I haven't bought her.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Same thing with
I like playing tankier champions as they're more forgiving, and nobody seems to want to take tanky champions.
Yeah, right now this is super strong. If you play just this, I'm ignoring Pantheon. Pantheon is insanely strong laning phase, falls off unless you build him.
He falls off really freaking hard.
Unless you build him CDR tank, which nobody does. He's more misunderstood than bad. He doesn't actually fall off. It's just people build him wrong.
Oh, good to know.
So you could do that. Your Pantheon build should be like straight tank with black cleavage, gives you 20% CDR. Maybe 1 damage item, one of the lethality ones. and then like tank. You get to your cap of 40% CDR, 45% if you think you can kill someone in lane. Maybe you can go the lethality too, either or, and then you just like spam your W on people. But whatever, there's different ways to play them. Against all squishies, you can go glass cannon and never fall off too. So I mean, whatever. But this is good. I like this. I'm just asking, like, is there a reason you don't want to play the kill people champs? This is fine. This actually makes it easier to coach you because these are simpler champions for the most part, which means it's a lot easier to focus on fundamentals than like, okay, now you got to learn this really complicated Jace combo where you have to toggle between forms and you got to click like pretty much 7 moves. And you
I mean, the only champion I was considering adding was actually Nautilus.
Nautilus is pretty good too. Point and click alt. He's a lot like Malphite, right? So yeah, you could do that. Here's how I would decide it again.
Easier laning phase than Maokai.
Yeah, so we got physical damage dealers, right?
Yeah.
Trundle's probably in there. You know, so here. Tell me, is there a situation when you would pick every last one of these guys? Like a different one? Do any of them overlap in your brain?
I mean, the Alawi wouldn't really be good into a team that wants you to engage them. Alawi wants people to engage her.
Mm-hmm.
Short of that, I actually don't know.
Well, like Trundle, for example. Trundle is because of the way his kit works. Like you pick him into a very specific situation. What would that be?
A tank.
Yeah, there's a god tank on the enemy team, and you want to make him not a god tank. You want to click R when you're at half health, steal all of his health, steal all of his resistances. You want to Q whatever AD carry is closest to your team, steal all of their AD, and you just want to never die with your W on fighting in the middle of the minion wave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Trundle is, oh, there's a Maokai on the enemy team. There's a Malphite on the enemy team. I'm just going to make you super squishy, right? Can work against Alawi. Trundle is there's a melee champion on the other team. I'm going to make it so you can't do anything. And there's other stuff like if you have a Yasuo mid, you pillar instant Yasuo ult, right? Because it knocks people up. It's point and click, essentially. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Alawi, I would use, she's tanky. She lives forever in fights. She's looking for those big, like, 5v5s in one spot where you have to control an area. But also, she's your range champion because you don't have any of that.
Yeah.
You have, like, Pantheon Q. But against the Darius, he's just going to walk up and be in your Q range so you can't do anything, right?
Yeah.
What's Pantheon in this? And if you don't know, it's fine too. I'm just asking so you can see my line of thought.
I actually don't know when I shouldn't be taking Pantheon. I usually do really well in laning phase and then get stomped on.
Yeah, so what's Pantheon good
at? Early game engages, early game assassinations, early game roams. He can roam with his R really easily.
Yep. So let's do split pushing, laning phase. Pantheon, like the way I think of him, he is the champion you play when you don't want someone else to play League of Legends. Like early levels, he is one of the most oppressive champions ever because you're just stacking your passive, so it's hard to trade. You're just throwing spears from super long range. You have this scary all-in combo, so you can just zone people off creeps, throw Qs at them every 4 seconds or whatever, and just stop them from doing anything. But then, the trade-off is if he gets ahead and builds damage, he's super squishy and he's jumping in there because he's Mantheon, not Pantheon, right? Yeah. So, yeah, and that's why like you have to transition that laning phase into tanky CDR Pantheon if you're playing him right. But most people don't do that. But this guy is, I want to take over the laning phase, kill you, and then use my ult to spread my advantage elsewhere. Alawi's like, I want to keep my distance, or we need to defend an objective like Baron or Dragon, and I want you to come to me. Trundle is, you have a tank that I need to destroy. Good at split pushing, can split push, even though she's not very good at escaping. But usually she escapes into her tentacle trail.
I was about to say, she shouldn't have to escape if she's played right.
Yeah, because if you're chasing Alawi, like that's what she wants, right?
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Like they have different roles, but this guy and this guy can split push. She can split push, which is good for climbing. This guy's a tank killer. Again, this one's like your range, like if you're up against something stupid like a Jace or whatever. And then Pantheon is like, oh, you're playing Quinn top. That's cute. And then you have 10 kills by 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we're splitting this into physical damage, magical damage. Like, if you have a Yasuo mid, like a Lee Sin jungle, you're probably not picking from here, right? Why?
I don't know. I've just been spamming Maokai. Why would I not pick from the top list?
I mean, you could, sure, but here, let's say you can pick whatever you want top. You got Yasuo mid, you have Lee Sin in the jungle. You have an AD carry that isn't Ziggs. What will the enemy team do if they, have a brain?
They would use Lee Sin kicks and Yasuo ults to control every team fight.
Oh no, Yasuo mid is on your team. Lee Sin mid is on.
Oh.
Lee Sin jungle is on your team.
Oh, too much.
Right?
Now I understand.
Word.
Too
Cheers.
much AD.
Yeah, too much AD. So what's the enemy team going to do if they have a brain?
Armor.
They're going to pick Maokai, and they're going to be like, Randuin, Thornmail, Deadman, Sunfire, Ninja Tabby, Frozen Heart, something like that. That might be his final build, actually.
Yeah.
And you're going to tickle him a little. And he's never going to die. And it's going to be adorable. So, again, why would you want to split this up like this?
So that you have the ability to take AP and if you're AD heavy and take AD if you're AP heavy.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, these are all tanks, but still, if they are building all armor, you as Maokai will kill all of them, because you're doing mostly magic damage, right?
I mean, there's something to be said for being a tank, though. It's not like tanks don't do damage. I out damage ADCs all the time, which is sad.
For sure. But that's all I'm saying. So that's the reason for breaking it up like this. It's so the enemy team has to spread their gold resources between 2 defensive stats instead of just 1 that they can double down on. It makes your team better by being able to do this. Okay? So up here, are you fine with this? Maokai I never see picked, and I don't understand it. I feel like he is just bonkers right now in solo queue.
I mean, honestly, most of the time I span Maokai. I just didn't have any games to show you because I kept banning him.
Oh yeah, no worries, it's fine.
Because I was stupid.
But we're just talking about your champ pool right now, right?
Yeah, no, the champ pool's fine.
Okay.
I have no problem with that.
I'm fine with this too, and all these guys are pretty simple, right? Like Malphite, I showed you the flow chart earlier, and we got a couple more people watching. Let me just click that again in case you guys haven't seen it. This is how you play Maokai. Not Maokai, Malphite. They both have end names, right? But there you go. What's up, Zelda Lynn?
I mean, like I said, the only thing I might consider adding would be Nautilus, just because he's another super tank, and I seem to like playing super tanks.
So let's do that, Nautilus. So let me ask you, what's the difference between Nautilus and Maokai?
The R.
Okay. So
the ult is very different. The ult for Nautilus can knock up their entire team. The ult for Maokai protects your team. It's the difference between an engage and a peel tank.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. It's also Maokai's thing is good for tower diving, but Nautilus has his W, his shield, which is good for tower diving too. So in my brain, they're very similar, except Nautilus has 4 seconds of CC he can throw on one person. Maokai is I'm going to jump in at my W, and I'm going to Q you back into my team, and I'm going to throw a sapling on you, which is going to slow you. It's 3 seconds of targeted CC. And like you said, Nautilus, he can throw his ult, and if he's good, he can hit everybody. The knockup now lasts forever. It's 2 seconds or whatever. So probably more CC, and Nautilus is more if they have one person you need to single out. Maokai is more bring it on. They have a bunch of damage targets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Maokai is more protective. Nautilus is more engage.
Yeah.
Maokai can engage too. A flash W is pretty straightforward, right? So
yeah.
So in my brain, they're pretty similar, but yeah, they're different. I mean, they are different champs. But so, do you want to even bother learning another one when they're pretty similar? Is my thought.
It depend. It's somebody I've considered adding. I'll let you know next week. I'm gonna buy him this week and let you know what I think.
Yeah, play him out. I would recommend top 4 to 5 champs. And this is fine if you're picking stuff like Nautilus and Maokai because you play them very similarly. You can build them very similarly. Both scale with AP and health, right? And both cooldown reduction. Both have AoE crowd control damage. Both peel somewhat similarly. Both engage somewhat similarly. So I think it's fine to do that because you're essentially learning the new champion. It's like learning a Mumu, Sejuani, Gragas. Those 3 champions are very similar, even though they're different and have slightly different kits. But yeah. I think this is fine. Normally, I'd recommend 4 champs, but this guy's pretty different. This guy's pretty different. Trundle's pretty brainless. It's you either are the daddy Trundle or you're not. And then these ones all are just kind of okay, cool. I clicked my buttons and now you can't do anything. So,
yep.
So I think it's fine if you want to do this. So we can do 6. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I like this though. You got like a nice little balance here, different things for doing different stuff. Should be good. All right, ready to move on to jungle?
My jungle pool I've been having trouble with. You don't know if you remember last season when you coached me. I was
Yeah, you're like a Volibear main or something.
volley. Yeah, I just spammed the hell out of volley.
Yeah, there are a lot of tools in the game right now which make him hard to work with, but
Yeah,
he's still fine.
So I've been bouncing back and forth between Jarvan, Vi, and actually Maokai jungle.
Hey, can we wish Zelda a happy birthday real quick?
Sure. Happy birthday, Zelda.
Happy birthday! I want to give her something to read in case coaching is boring. Have you ever read Party Cat?
No.
Party Cat is the best thing ever. I want you to read this afterwards when we're not doing a coaching session. It's in the Twitch stream for you.
I thought you were going to make me read it out loud.
Right now, I'm going to need you to read it out. It's 40 pages long. It's a comic about a cat that likes to party. This is part of your training. It's important. It's imperative. I'm joking. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that. Just priorities, right? But jungle, we want the same kind of breakdown. Have you ever seen my jungler spreadsheet, which is probably out of date?
I actually have not.
Here, I typed !junglers. That sends you this Google Doc. People mess with it all the time, so there's probably filters on. But I have a list of like pretty much every champion. Like at the time when I made this, I thought was okay in the jungle. The ones marked in yellow were champions that a challenger coach said were insanely strong at the time. Like those were the meta champs that were, in LCS every single game back when LCS was super boring. And then I went through and I was like, okay, do I know how to play them? 1 is yes, 0 is no. And then I had all these little filters that would let me figure out what I need, so like main damage type, we talked about why that's important, right? So if I need like a physical jungler that can tank, this very quickly lets me filter in on like who all the options are, right?
Yeah.
So I built a thing like this. We can use this to pick some people if you're having trouble, is what I'm saying. And this is up there. I don't care if you guys want to use this or build your own, like go for it. And like if you want to nitpick it, build your own. Like you don't have to use mine, whatever. But over here, I kind of have other things like, hey, what kind of team comps do you fit in? Are you a good split pusher? Are you good at doing damage to towers? Some champions are melee and have trouble hitting towers. Others are ranged, like Nidalee and Can. Do you have engaged? Do you have disengaged? Do you have poke? Can you protect your champions? Can you buff them like Nunu? Stuff like that, right?
I don't know. You're the jungler. You've kind of seen how I play. I like playing tanks. What would you recommend? I have a feeling Sejuani's about to come out.
3 champs. Sejuani is shit. I would not play her right now. I think she is playable, but I have like 900,000 mastery points on her, and I can barely win games with her right now because her kit's in a bad place. Riot isn't touching her because they're reworking her right now. I think next patch, like the patch Galio comes out, they're doing the tank rework, and she's going to have a completely new kit. So because of that, I would not bother learning her because she's about to change completely. Also, she's not in a good spot. I just like playing her because she rides a pig and I pet pigs. So actually, no on Sejuani. But I would pick easy champs. Why am I recommending easy champs?
Because easy champs are easier to learn.
Yeah, I mean...
they're more forgiving.
Easy champs, think of it this way. Easier to learn. You don't have to do like the 9 mechanical combos that like Lee Sin, Elise, and Nidalee have where you're jumping between forms. That frees up your brain to do other stuff. Like here, one I will actually recommend, who I think is insanely strong right now and people just don't play, is Amumu. And the reason being is he's pretty brain dead. He has a couple flashy mechanical things he can do, like you can Q and then immediately flash to cancel your animation, flash forward and extend the range of your Q, your bandage toss. You can do the same thing with your ult. Aside from that, it's like, hey, is my W on? Hey, did I click E?
Yeah.
That's Amumu.
Cool. So I'll pick up Amumu. What else would you recommend?
Hold on a sec. But I want you to... I appreciate you just being like, yeah, this is who I'm going to do. But the reason for this is it frees up your brain to focus on things like looking at the map, planning out your route, focusing on what your teammates are doing, doing all the little decision-making things because you don't have to fill it with mechanical things from your brain, right?
I do have the sticky notes on the computer that you recommended like a year ago.
That's good. Those are important too, but we're picking champions to play right now. All right, so Amumu I think is pretty good AP. He's also never banned. He has one of the fastest clears in the game. Think about the chickens, right, guys? Every time he gets auto-attacked, his E goes off cooldown at like a second sooner. There's 6 chickens hitting you. Your E is pretty much off cooldown every few seconds. So Mumu has one of the fastest clears in the game right now. If you want a tank, what else do we need?
We need an AD tank.
We need an AD tank. You already play Volibear. I would stick with him.
Think so?
Yeah.
Even though
he's fine. This is your off roll. You just need to go 50-50 here, and then you've done your job, right? You think you can do that?
Yeah. Yeah. The only other one I'm really comfortable with right now then would be Jarvan.
Cool. He's fine right now. Do that. All right, you're done. I like this because these guys will never be banned. Volibear, if like something aggressive is trying to invade you and murder you, you know, you'll just laugh at them because your passive is up. You know, and Volibear has really good engage. Like, what's the best item in the universe on Volibear right now?
Cinderhorn? Warmogs?
Here's what I want you to try. Here's what I want you to try. I want you to try this. I don't know if I've told you. Have you ever tried Righteous Glory on Volibear? You got to get your Tiamat and your Titanic Hydra. You got to get your Cinderhawk to help you clear because stupid chickens take forever to kill. But
I actually have not tried Righteous Glory on it. Is it OP?
It's not overpowered, but champions that need to catch people, like Singed, Volibear, Udyr. Although Udyr, I haven't seen like an Udyr player in a while. The last one I did was like 0-6 by like 10 minutes, so that was upsetting. But try building Righteous Glory on him. It is hilarious. Have fun. It gives. Here, let me just show you why real quick. Righteous Glory Wiki. What's up, Angry Bayesian? Angry Bayesian, I still owe you a coaching session. My power was out. So let me know if you want to do it tomorrow or something, man. I'm here for you. So this active right here is bonkers. For 4 seconds, you gain 75% of your movement speed. So like how much movement speed do you have normally?
Oh, that'd be disgusting.
So let's say you have 400 movement speed because you have tier 2 boots. Your Q on Volibear speeds you up a little if you're moving towards enemy champions, right?
I think it's more like 300 something, but yeah.
Sure. Let's call it 380. I'm just doing 400 to make the math easy. What's 75% of 400?
100? No. Ha! Ha! Math. 300.
300. So what's 300 plus 400?
Oh, you're making me math it out when I've been drinking.
Oh, no worries. 300 plus 400, 3 plus 4 is 7. Add 2 zeros, 700. Is anybody getting away from you?
No.
It's adorable watching them try though. So try that out, okay? This is like a probably Tiamat, Cinderhawk, Righteous Glory, tier 2 boots, Titanic Hydra. All you do is run at the most fed person on the enemy team and throw them into your team and they die. Like it's kind of like Malphite. Is my Righteous Glory active up? Cool, they die. But yeah, I would stick to like just 3 champs. I can show you how to play all these. I can give you streamers who play all these. Like David Rue is an amazing Volibear player. He's not as active anymore, but like if you catch him on, like he's just one of those guys that like randomly will have 5 kills on Volibear by like 20 minutes. He'll be like 5-0-4, just walking around randomly. He's always in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And you can do the combos. Like Volibear has a lot of auto attack resetting things, right? Like you can auto, Q, Tiamat, W. There's all these goofy things, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can like learn his execute combo. There's nothing too crazy about him. J4 is a little more mechanical, but you know, the flag and drag is not too hard to learn.
Yeah. No, he's pretty simple, but he's also one of those that if you really, really want to survive the later game team fights, you have to build some tank on.
Yeah, Toasty's saying that we forgot the diminishing returns part of that formula, you know, when we were doing our 300 plus 400 math. So I'm going to have you follow up with him so he can explain the calculus behind that later, okay? Make sure you drink a lot first before you harass him. Got it? I mean, talk with him. Cool?
Don't make me math it out. Yeah. Sounds good.
Good. But he's right. You know, it's not really that much. But okay.
No, I mean, and I'm aware of diminishing returns. There's diminishing returns on CDR after 40%, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the return is 0. You can't go any higher unless you get that 5% mastery. So yeah, it's similar. Right, this is good. So now we know who you're going to play. I can send this to you as well. We know what you want to do. You want to climb up. And so we're going to be focusing mostly on top. Another reason I'm going through the 2 roles is I want to ask you one more question that will actually look at stuff and start setting some baselines. And I'm going to do some homework too. Like we got a couple people watching. I got a tool I've been developing over the past 2 years that mines the Riot API. I've been working on it with 3 really smart people who are smarter than me. But it mines the Riot API for your game data, and then it builds some metrics that tells you what to do, where you suck, how to be better by comparing you to every other person in the player base that plays that champion in that role. So FalkenrathSession is going to be my guinea pig testing that out. So right now we're going to set up some stuff and figure out, okay, where does he need to work? And I'm showing you my thought process here. So all right, let's start with top FalkenrathSession. I'm going to turn over to you. What is the top laner's job? I know that's a loaded question, but...
Well, one of the things I've been told is that the top
well,
laner
not
job...
what you've been told, even if it's me telling you, but like seriously, what do you think his job is? And most people are like, to win the game, and well, yeah, that's everybody's job, dipshit. You know,
Well,
like tell me what your specific role's job is.
I mean, top lane makes a great split push lane because ideally you're either tanky or assassin-y enough to just destroy someone.
Okay, so that's your main job. Like you're picking top lane because you're gonna split push and destroy someone.
No, I mean you can put pressure on mid lane. There's a lot of things you can do. I'm not sure about number 1 job though. I'm not sure about that because I mean I try to roam. I try to.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times too, if there's somebody up top, I'll just split push against them, or if there's no team fight that can be had, I'll do that with my TP up. I'll split push.
Let me take a step back. Okay, we're gonna go out of my jungle selector thing that we were showing earlier. I'm gonna go to Rift Kit. All right, let me ask you my favorite question, which I think I've asked you before, right? Just taking a step back, resetting all the things. How do you win the game?
You destroy the enemy nexus.
Cool. How do you do that?
This conversation. You take turrets.
Which turrets?
And then you kill the inhibitor.
This one. Which ones?
You take the outer turret. Then you take the tier 2 turret. Then you take the inhibitor turret.
Let's call this outer, inner, inhib. But yeah, you need to take the inhibitor. Then that allows you to take these. Then you can take the nexus. And if you work backwards, the game is about clicking the nexus. To click the nexus, you need to kill these 2 towers before you're allowed to right-click the nexus. To right-click these 2, you need to kill an inhibitor, 1. To do that, you need to kill all the towers in front of it. To do that, what do you need to do? Like, let's say this blue T won't let you. What do you have to do?
His what?
The blue T, the enemy top laner here. He won't let you right-click this tower, so you can right-click the other tower, so you can right-click the inhibitor, so you can right-click the 2 nexus towers, so you can right-click the nexus, win the game, move on to your next one.
You need to win lane.
You need to win lane. Good. Okay, so let's do that. Well, let's start there, okay? Mm-hmm. If you are good at your job, like when you're playing jungle, right, and you're thinking about your lanes, and you're like, okay, which one do I want to gank, which one do I want to not gank? When you're thinking about your top lane, what are the things you're looking for that tells you if that guy knows what he's doing or not?
Farm.
That's another one. Okay, why is trading? That's another one. But all of these things, I would argue, are like a part of winning lane. So here, let's do this just for funsies, okay? Let's get rid of win lane. Let's break it down into its pieces, okay? So starting with what else, by the way? Here, do you have more? Farm and trading? Is that the only one?
Word and map awareness.
Okay. Vision, map awareness. What else? That it? Could be it.
That's all that comes to mind off the top of my head.
Last one I'm going to say is situational bullshit. Okay? Because depending on who you're playing, if you're playing a Pantheon, your job is dramatically different than if you're playing a Maokai, right?
Yeah.
So, another thing I want to stress is roles like top and jungle are more utility roles. You pick up what your team is lacking to fill whatever team composition, which allows your team to have an advantage over the enemy team and win the game. This kind of stuff is going to be important, like not as much at silver, not as much at gold, shit, not even as much at low diamond because people don't do it. But once the skill level gets to a point where everybody can click the right buttons in the right order, everybody is making the right decisions, team comps are what win you the game or lose you the game. So this is like fitting into team comp win conditions or whatever. Okay? But I think this kind of thing is important. Now let's go through one at a time and talk through. Farm. Why is farm important? What is farm?
Because farm can be worth more than 2 or 3 kills in lane easily.
Okay, well, what is farm? Like you say farm. I'm brand new to League of Legends. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Like, am I raising some goats? Are we gonna go pick some corn on the cobs?
killing the little minions that are little bastards. If you get into
Cool.
the
What do you
wrong
get when you
fight,
kill the little bastards?
you get gold
Okay, what else do you get? Besides the grim satisfaction of squeezing the life out of them.
experience.
Experience. Good. Anything else? I'm just
Um,
asking. It doesn't mean there's something else.
Depending on what champion you're playing, health. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, like Scion gets stacks, Vagar gets stacks,
Yeah,
Nasus
you
gets
can get stacks
stacks.
up too.
Do any of your
But
champions get anything else?
no, not that I know of.
No. No, so this is good. Okay, so here, let's keep going. Why does gold matter?
Items.
Items. Why do items matter?
Win fights.
Why do you win fights with items? Like, what do they give you that helps you win fights?
Uh,
I mean, these are dumb, stupid questions, right? But like,
they're actually making me giggle.
right?
um, why do you win fights with items?
Mhm.
Because you've got more of them if your farm's higher?
Okay, why does having more items matter? Okay, I got my 6 infinity edges. I win, right? I'm Malphite. I'm ready to rock. Let's go.
You have to purchase the right items.
Sure, but why the
For
right items?
Stats.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so right here, like just this right now, here are 3 things that we are going to look for in your games, okay? What I'm going to look for to start is your gold over time. And I'm going to break it up into 4 quarters. So the way I think of the game is the first 10 minutes of the game, 0 to 10 minutes is the laning phase. That's the early game. I'm going to look to see what your gold over time looks like. If it's shitty, meaning it's lower than other people that play your champion top, that's telling me you need to work on a few things. Like let's say you have super low gold over time. Why?
Oh, probably means I'm not farming right, or I'm losing trades and being forced out of lane.
You're either dying for whatever reason. Maybe you're not paying attention to the jungler. Maybe you're just losing lane to the enemy laner who's outplaying you and murdering you, which means you're picking bad fights, which means you're trading your shit, which we'll talk about in a second. It could also mean you're just bad at last hitting like me. Like I never practice that because I like to jungle and support, where you don't have to last hit, right?
The last hitting is so dependent on what champion I'm on.
And it's so dependent on what champion you're on. So if I notice that your like gold over time is super shitty on Nautilus, but it's super good on Maokai, that's going to tell me, okay, Mao's fine. Nautilus, you got to go into team. Actually, no, you don't anymore. You have the practice tool now in the new client. You have to go into the new practice tool.
Yep, and just keep resetting it.
Mm-hmm. And just have infinite wave. I can show you drills to work on that to make that happen. Okay, so let's say that your gold over time is fine, but you're building 6 infinity edges on Malphite. You know, what does that tell me?
That I have no idea what I'm doing in terms of items.
It means you're doing this part right. You know, you're kicking your ass farming. You're probably getting good trades. You know, you're not dying a bunch. You're killing the enemy laner more than they're killing you. You're taking the tower first. But for whatever reason, you know, you're building the wrong build. So that's pretty easy to fix. There's a couple calculators that tell you optimal builds. You can just cheat and look at pro players and see what their, you know, 50 to 100K on a year salaried analysts are telling you should build. Like just cheat, learn from the best. There's a reason they're the best, right? And then that will correlate into stats that, again, when you have more of them than the enemy team, you tend to win the game because this, at its heart, is a game of numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But looking at these things will tell me, okay, are you good or bad? What do you need to work on, right? Okay, why is EXP important?
So you can get levels.
Yeah, so you can get levels. Why are levels important?
More abilities.
Okay, what else do you get?
You scale.
What the hell does that mean? What, like,
you're
calling me fat?
Stats.
Stats, yeah, good. Yeah, every champion has base stats. Every level you get plus whatever, plus X, plus Y, plus Z to your base stats every time you level up. Sometimes champions need levels more than they need farm. Like one of my favorite top laners to play is Singed. And there are Singed players that can go 0-10 and carry a game just because they are in your base, farming 3 waves, laughing and dancing while spamming their mastery emote between every single auto attack, right? And if you chase them, it's going to cost you more resources than you gain for killing him. And he's like taking your entire base and you're losing objectives because you have no minions pushing him. Like there's a bunch of bullshit, right? Some champions like experience more than gold. Now, ideally, if you can get both, that's great. But looking at these things together will tell me something. So let's say we're looking at your experience over time. And compared to other people in that role on that champion, your experience over time, experience per minute, whatever metric we end up looking at, it's great. It's above average. And your gold is way lower. What does that tell us? You're getting plenty of experience, not a lot of gold.
That means that I'm present in lane, but I'm not farming it.
It means you need to work on last hitting, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you're not getting minions and your experience is shitty.
That means that I'm just not in lane.
You're not in lane. So why aren't you in lane? You're either forced back, you're roaming at dumb times, you're dead. A whole bunch of things, right? But looking at these things together are going to tell us different things to focus on. Make sense?
Yeah.
And this is also important because let's say you're playing Malphite, right? What is the most important level for any Malphite player?
6.
6. Why 6?
Alt win game.
Alt win game. Remember that flow chart we went through? I keep bringing it up because,
Well, his ult is why it's so strong into Camille. That's the only reason I like that pick.
I clicked the wrong thing. Wow.
You can keep her from escaping with your ult.
Yeah.
It's really good.
There are some other champions that are really good with Camille. Like Singed is a hard counter for Camille. Can you think about why?
No, actually. I've never played Singed, so I don't know. I don't face off against him too many times.
All right. Well, how does Camille's ult work? If you don't know, that's fine.
I mean, it basically traps people inside. That's all I know.
Do you know how to cancel it?
You did not know you could cancel it. How do you cancel it?
You can. If she leaves the ult, it cancels.
So you can knock her out.
Yeah, so you can either knock her out, think like a Lee Sin ultimate, like he kicks her out of it. Your teammate can now get out of her ult because it's broken up. What does Singed have on a pretty short cooldown?
Toss.
Is toss. So what you do whenever Camille, like here, let's say you're Singed, here's blue thing, here's Camille. She's like, I'm Camille, I'm gonna spot a man in and hook shot to your face. And then that's how she talks in my brain. And then she puts the ult on you, right?
Talks like Marge Simpson.
Pretty much,
yeah.
Sure. Why not? So she comes in here. What should you do if you're Singed? Let's say you don't want to fight her. Where would you run?
I'd run to the edge.
Which edge?
Well, if you're blue, you'd run towards the edge closest. No, actually, you'd have to go to...
You don't want to fight her. Which way are you running? You're on the right track.
Towards your turret.
I would run this way. I thought you had it for a second. You would run this way. Why would you run this way?
I was thinking of running that way so you can toss her out and then run the other way.
Exactly. So what's she going to do? She's melee, right? She's going to chase you so she can auto you and get her Q, which is empowered.
Then you toss her out and ult and run the other way.
If you have your ult up, you should just fight her because you win that fight.
Okay.
But if you don't, she's trying to execute you. You toss her out. That cancels this. You spam your mastery. You pause here to laugh, and dance a little. And then you keep going to safety because her E is on a really long cooldown, so it won't be up in time. But so you want to be thinking about stuff like that too. So levels are very important because there are very specific things that let you, win those trades, which lets you farm more, gain more experience, and do other stuff. Kind of makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Teaching bad manners? What do you mean, man? She tried to ult you. I'm learning from Rice Balls. You have to respect the enemy player as much as they respect you. If they think they can kill you, you have to laugh at them and tell them, oh, that's adorable, pat them on the head, and then murder them and take their shit. Because this is a strategy game. We don't mess around. All right, kind of makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to this, that's why experience is important, because you need levels to do the things, right? And also some champions get more stats and stuff, like Singed. Like his ultimate gives him bonus armor, magic resist, infinite health regen. If you stack those stupid, 350 gold rings, you just can't die. It's hilarious. But you get to a point, you get enough items, you can just do the things. You get to your power spike, you can attack. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're going to be looking at this kind of stuff because this is the number one thing that makes players bad. They are bad at this. Like I was playing a game last night. We're high platinum in Mar right now because I'm messing around with different champions. And one of my main complaints was I had a Talon mid who just kept roaming at dumb times. I don't know if you were watching the stream. If not, no worries. I think I streamed for 6 hours. But he kept, let's say he's this orange M, right?
I was trying to spam my games to get you enough games.
Oh, yeah. I don't blame you. We're just going to watch 1 or 2, so no worries. But I'm going to watch the rest of those over the course of the weekend. But what would happen is, the enemy laner, I think it was a Yasuo or something, would shove a wave in. He'd be like, oh, good. Wave's at the tower. Time to leave. And then, this would all die. That would be very sad.
Yeah.
Because he was like level 6 when this guy was like level 11 because he just kept trying to kill bot lane. And then he's sitting here leeching experience and gold from down here because he's like when there's 3 people near the minions. Do you know how the experience is split up?
Actually, no.
Well,
Is it
here,
split up by 3 or no?
it's a little bit different than that. Here, let's say there's one person. How much experience do they get if there's only one person? How much would this S be getting? All of it, right?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, let's all of it,
Just
100%.
one person.
Yep.
I don't know. 35. Isn't it 35 XP?
You're going very specific. I'm saying like, okay, you kill a minion, you get 100% of that at EXP. Sure,
Oh, okay.
it's like a number. I don't have that memorized. No one does. Don't worry about that. But if you want to know it, there's a toggle you can put on in the settings to turn it
I
on
think
every
it's
time.
35 XP because I have it on.
It's there, but there's some weird shit too, where if you're under leveled, there's
Catch-up
comeback
mechanism.
mechanics and stuff. So like if there's like a Nidalee standing next to you and you're under leveled, her cougar passive goes off because she likes younger men, right? And you gain extra bonus experience just from being near her. There's a bunch of weird bullshit that happens in this game because it's complicated, right?
Yeah.
So that's a real thing, by the way. Look it up. But
I know it is.
stream probably doesn't believe me. I saw some chatting and stuff like that.
Oh, for catch-up mechanism?
Yep. Well, for catch-up mix, I was talking about the cougar mechanic on Nidalee, but
Oh.
okay, let's say your AD carry comes back. He was roaming mid for whatever reason. How much experience are you getting? It's not 100% anymore, right?
It's half. Well, it's not half because the person who kills it gets more, right?
Nope.
No, it's half.
It's not half.
What is it?
It's 2/3, and so this person gets like 66.6% rep attend. This person gets like 66.6% rep attend. That might be. I haven't looked at this in a while. It might have changed too. So let's see. But another thing, excuse me for sneezing. My buddy had a rabbit, and I am super allergic to it. And I went over to visit him, and I was just dying. But like I'm still sneezing. Where is it? Here.
No bunny soup for you.
No bunny soup for me. So if 2 champions are next to experience, it's not 66.6, it's 65.2% of the experience. So it's more than half, but it's not 100%, right?
Yeah.
So here, if 3 champions are there, it's less than half. So it's 40%, 40%, 40%. Have you ever noticed when your team like all goes mid and there's 5 people mid and the minion wave dies, nobody levels up at all?
Yeah.
That's because this is happening. It's like an inefficient use of resources on the map, right? So again, going back to my point, the Talon kept roaming bot, and he's just like waiting here to gank. He's sitting on a ward probably, so of course these people aren't going to go in there, and he's just leeching EXP from this wave because it looks kind of like this, It's like kind of a range around it. So as the AD carry is killing this, he's stealing that EXP, but they're not getting as much. So these guys are getting stronger than these guys because they're not dying and getting extra resources, right?
Yeah.
So my Talon is essentially losing a bunch of shit here while this guy's gaining a bunch of shit, and he's making these guys worse. He's hurting 3 players at once by just being dumb. So bringing it full circle, going back, that's why we're going to look at this stuff, because it is at all levels, even the Master Challenger players have trouble with this, like a very important thing to look at. Granted, Master Challenger players have a Master Challenger player trying to murder them while they're trying to do this, so it's a little bit different, but still. It's good to focus on, right?
Yeah. I mean, according to Double, if PewDiePie is boosted trash, but,
I don't know, man. He's got a lot of viewers.
Did you hear that on LCS? Did you see that? He said that live on LCS.
Nope. I don't pay attention to the drama, man. I'm too busy, like hanging out and, like, playing video games to care.
Apparently, PewDiePie trash talked Double because PewDiePie got a higher ranking.
Oh, that's adorable. I wonder if there was like a bet that he wouldn't do it or something like behind the scenes.
Well, and then they interviewed him about it on air, and then he said something. Well, PewDiePie's been talking a bunch of smack, but PewDiePie is boosted trash.
Oh shit! Shots fired. Okay.
The crowd went crazy, but
Yeah, like you do. I bet the dongers were raised. Okay, well, let's move on. Like again, I don't want to focus on bullshit drama because it doesn't matter. It's not going to make you a better player if PewDiePie's boosted trash or not, right?
Yeah.
All right. And guys, yell questions too. I'm sorry, I'm seeing the chat fly by, and we're waxing on if bad manners is a useful mechanic. I think it is, but there's a bunch of stuff like this. Janna top counter Camille. It would work actually, Toasty, if you could survive long enough. There's a bunch of stuff like that going on. So ask questions. I am paying attention. I'm just trying not to be rude to my friend the FalconRath here. All right, let's move on to
answer chat. No problem.
Yeah, sure.
Trading.
By the way, having talked through this, do you want to add anything to this list? Do you want to take stuff away?
No, unless there's anything that you can think about. I mean, farming I know is a problem. I think knowing when to trade is a problem for me.
I'm going to do this because you can win the game without taking a single trade if you like focus on towers and dragons and stuff like that, right? So I'm going to throw objective control in there. But okay, trading is important because most of the time that you are going to have to, fight someone at least once in League of Legends, right? So when you say trading, what do you mean? Let's break it down again.
Trading fights, trading in lane. You go to or someone goes to auto. I throw my Q as Pantheon. Someone goes in to farm, and I can.
Why trade it up?
To try to harass them out of lane or try to harass them off their farm, so they're too afraid to farm.
Why do that?
To keep them from getting gold, which will keep them from getting items, which will keep them from getting stats.
Nice. Okay, good. So trading is to stop them from doing all this other stuff, pretty much, right? All right.
Yes.
What
it can also be to lower their health, so you can prepare for a later engage. Because
okay, so you're giving them to that sweet spot so that you can prepare for what? To do what to them?
All in and destroy them or get them ready for a gank. So if they're stupid enough to be extended near your tower and you can keep trading with them and they think they have lane pressure over you,
yeah, then the jungler just comes up and boops them, right?
Yep, boop.
So yeah, it's Tiefling Warlock. FalconRath, I'm doing something a little different with because he's helping me check out a tool. But right now, you can do one of two things if you want coaching. You can watch the stream enough to accumulate Gunday show tickets. If you get 3,000, I'll do a session for you. It's free. Or you can send me a heartfelt message explaining why you need coaching. And if you make me laugh, I will coach you. Just hit me up over Twitch. Those are the two ways you can get coaching. All right? If you pay the tickets, I will coach you no matter what. The message is hit or miss, okay? I've only done 2 of those so far. But not trying to be a scumbag, trying to make it free, trying to make the player base better, trying to help you guys out. It's free so you guys won't be. But those are the 2 ways you can get coaching. I'm one of the top 10 coaches in the world on leaguecoaching.gg. I think I need to throw a lesson on there for me to show up, but like I'm giving you some quality shit too. Right now we're just focusing on fundamentals for FalconRath because this is going to be the first lesson in a series of things. And I'm getting my baseline, Silver 4, here's how you started at all these things which matter. And then from there, we're going to focus on stuff to make you better at all those things. And oh, look, now you're diamond. Congrats. And here's why I can watch you climb on all these things over time, which is what we're going to do. It's going to be great. But I hope that answers your question. Let me know if it doesn't. We'll make it work. Nopples wants coaching. Maybe, man. You got a bunch of tickets. Let me know.
Give me 1 second. My phone is on the other table and it keeps going off.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let me talk to chat then. You tell me when you're back, okay? Gunday said he'd coach me first. Oh, shit. Maybe, man. But that's another thing, too. Like, at one point, I had 60 people asking for the free coaching at once. And of those 60 people, like 20 of them were no-shows because it's free and they don't have to pay anything. They just forgot because people's lives are busy and sometimes don't revolve around a video game. So the tickets and the firm petition to make me laugh are usually there to show that you're invested. So they actually show up. So I have content to show to like the 30 or so people that watch me like talk to a camera on the internet from time to time. So that's kind of the way it works. Nerf what, Speedcoin? All right, good.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back. Everything okay?
Yep.
Good. Like every once in a while, I'll be streaming and I'll look down and I'll have like 40 texts from my wife and I'll be like, oh, God.
So, oh, God, I'm in trouble.
So I was hoping it's not one of those.
Wife aggro, must interrupt, bitch slap.
Yep. Stream has been calling it Elise Skanks because that's her name-o. So it's kind of funny.
Is her name actually Elise?
It is, but it's spelled differently, which is funny because the trolls don't know that. So I'm like, why do you want to do these horrible things to the Spider Champion? What did the Queen of the Shadow Isles do to you? Dude, that's weird. I can go into all kinds of roasting about how they're into, weird spider porn and stuff like that. Like, it's fun. It's fun.
Did you see LS go off on the one that called his wife Dragon Lady? He goes, "What the fuck are you doing with that weird shit with your wife? Do you call her?" He just went off on like a 15-minute tangent about that.
I've been subbed to LS for 2 years on Twitch. He actually has these cute little things like you get a gold hood or whatever, and you can go into a magical Discord. And I never watch him, So I don't know all this drama. Like I'll just turn him on if he's on, but usually he streams when I'm asleep, unfortunately. So
It's quite funny. If you get time at work, you need to look up the Legend of White Fury.
okay, another thing. Have you seen Daddy Trundle?
No.
All right, I want you to watch this. This is homework. Okay, this is important. You too, chat.
Like if I know I'm gonna be like in a hard matchup top lane, like if I'm Trundle versus like
Daddy Trundle.
I'm gonna. I want you to save that hyperlink. I'm gonna put it here just so we remember. But I need you to watch this later because reasons. Okay, like this is important. Okay, it's gonna help you become a better player, just in a different way than all this stuff that it has math behind. All right, so going back to trading, you mentioned, okay, if I can do more damage to my opponent than they do to me, it can set them up for a whole bunch of things. What are the outcomes of that setup? Like if you wanted to like figure out how good you were at trading, what would you look at? And if you don't know, that's fine.
The health bar.
Sure, the health bar.
Their farm versus your farm.
Well, okay, farm, we got that, right? Trading though, specifically.
Ideally, if I were in an optimal trading position, I would have traded with them to a point where they're too afraid to challenge me freezing the lane.
Wait. What?
Ideally, if I had been trading properly, I would have them in the point where they wouldn't want to challenge me properly freezing the lane. So the lane didn't go anywhere and I could just maximize
Okay, cool.
farm.
I'm building a big data engine that mines data from Riot's API to tell you if you're good at that. What the hell am I pulling? What metric?
Farm per minute?
Well, what I would look at is a little bit different. There's a couple ways to look at this, and here are my thoughts, right?
Yeah.
It's a ratio of damage dealt per damage taken. And there's I'm gumping it down. Like I'm making it so Forrest Gump can understand it. I'm trying to simplify a little. It's a little more complicated than this because different champions do different things, right? But pretty much the idea is you are dealing out more pain than you are taking.
Yeah.
If you are doing that, you are probably winning trades, right?
You're so great at simplifying things.
Sure. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, another thing, right? Like, let's say you're really good at this. What's eventually going to happen if they stay in lane?
They're going to die.
They're going to die. So I'm going to look at deaths. Now, most people are like, why don't you look at kills, Gun? That shit doesn't matter as much as deaths. As weird as that sounds. Deaths are one of the most important metrics to look at in League of Legends for figuring out how good or bad you are. If you minimize deaths, that is way more important than focusing on getting kills. As weird as that shit sounds.
So let me ask you a question then.
Yeah.
If you're a tank and you have the opportunity to die for the team, but the team will wipe their team if you die for the team.
This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to talk about. All right. So in lane, is dying different than like late game during team fights?
I thought you were just going to type worth. In lane, dying is way different than in team fights.
Okay. So first I'm going to say it depends. You know, when you're not dying for your team because you are in a 1v1 or 1v2 situation in lane, right? Or 2v2 if your jungler's around too. Dying is a lot different than when you are like the frontline Lamalkai, you know, soaking all the damage from 5 enemies so that your team can murder them, right? Completely different. So to your question, if you die and then you get something afterwards, I would call that a worth the death. And you know what? Because it's my tool, we're going to do this, okay? Just because that's what I type in all chat after I die, and then we take like 4 towers into Dragon. Okay?
Yeah.
So worth would be I die, and then my team gets a huge swing in something. What are the things you would say, like, okay, you say you want a team fight. How do you tell you want a team fight after you die?
If you want a team fight or want a team fight?
Won. W-O-N.
Won.
Victory.
Sorry, I have really bad tinnitus.
I have a really bad accent, apparently. My words don't come out right. So just call me on it if you can't understand what's coming out of my mouth. I understand. I've lived with it all my life. I'll continue living with it as long as I live. Also, I missed a question, too. So I'm going to get back to you, Typhling Warlock. I'm just waiting for a break in the action.
If you want a team fight, you would have pressure over some objective that you could take. You ace them. You kill more of them than you lost. There's several ways you can win a team fight. You don't necessarily have to kill all of them to win a team fight. You can just damage all of them, then they run, then you get a tower and a Baron.
So let's do this. Let's list them all, right? Here, and I'm going to do this. This is good stuff. Here's how my brain works, right? Every indent is like a little subsection of this. So I really like this. If this is, let's say, greater than 0. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
So like math-wise, if I had to math all this bullshit out, how many kills did you get? Oh, we killed all of them. This is 5. How many kills did they get? They only killed me, the tank, because I did my job. 5 divided by 1 is 5, right? It's greater than 0. Okay, let's say they killed all of us, and we only killed their tank. This is 1, this is 5. That's like, what, 1 divided by 5, 20%? That's less than 0, right? So that's shitty.
Yeah.
That means we picked a bad fight. Kind of makes sense?
Yeah.
All right, now the other part is more important, because again, kills don't matter at all. We can still look at this, but the more important part is what you were talking about. You said control and pressure over an objective. So what do you want to look at after? Okay, team fight happened, dust settled. What happens next in the next like 30 seconds while death timers are up?
Baron Dragon Towers.
Okay, objectives. I'm going to say objective swing. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, go from Baron to Towers, or from Dragon to Towers, or from Dragon to Baron.
I mean something completely different. That is rotating around to different things, like what you're saying. That is also something that these words can mean. What I mean, though, is, hey, you didn't have a thing. Now you have a thing because you took it. Like, okay, you want a team fight. Now dragon is your reward. You took the dragon. You want a team fight. Great. That tower they were protecting, they're dead. They can't protect it. You take the tower, right? So the swing in objectives is how many things did you get after the tower that will help you win the game, or after the team fight that will help you win the game. So remember the discussion we had a little while ago? It was how do you win the game?
Yeah.
You take this tower, so you take this tower, so you take this tower, so you take the inhibitor, so you can click these 2 towers, so you can right-click the nexus. You have to do it in this order because you have to click the inhibitor, so you can right-click these towers, so you can right-click the nexus, because that's how you freaking win the game. There's another way to win the game. You can make them rage quit and surrender. But, you know, if they're not going to do that because they're good players, this is how you win.
Taunt them for dying in all shadow.
Of course. And do it within the Summoner's Code. I prefer those, like, really weeb emojis. Those are my favorite. You know, the really intricate smiley faces.
Or just every time you kill them a question mark, because I find that more tilting than anything else.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that, though. But yeah, that if you're lazy and don't want to, like, put the extra effort in, sure, question mark does the same thing. Fine.
It's not technically. You're just like, why did you do that?
I prefer the.
It's not being toxic.
I prefer the almost nice try. You almost got it, guys. Better luck next time. Smiley face emoji.
I'll just type a heart every time I kill them.
That works too. I'd be like, sorry, friend. Just doing it for the MMR. Hate the game, not the. You know, I don't know. There are a bunch of different ways to do it. Like.
Hate the game, not the player.
I don't know. Depends what it is. But okay. So going back here, the objective swing is like, hey, we did a thing. How many towers did we take? How many dragons did we take? How many barons did we take? How many rift heralds did we take? Right? How many inhibitors did we take? Did we get a thing after that? What else will you probably see? Like all of these things, right? If you get a bunch of kills, if you get objectives, what happens when you kill a tower, when you get a kill? What's something that...
Gold.
You get gold. Okay, so that'll show up here, right? Another way you can look at this is you look for swings in gold. And when I say swing, I'm looking for changes, right? So here.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about lead from one team to another team.
Yeah. Shit, I had the old one on. I played 10 Sejuani games last night. Around Plat 2 right now, I think. So
I saw you drop from 1 to 2. That's got to be tilting as well.
Oh, no, I don't give a shit, man. One of the reasons I track these metrics is because, like, if you have a string of bad games, you want to make sure, okay, is it me, or do I have that idiot who's running it down mid every game? Like, if it's one of those, I don't really give a crap. But here, let's see if we can find a good one. I'm looking for, yeah, okay, so check this out. All right, where was the point where we won the game on this? Can you tell? Do you know what this chart is?
Yes, the gold. The gold.
So this is time down here. I'm just going to explain it because we have 30 people watching, and I don't know if people actually look at this shit. What this is gold advantage. So up here, it means the blue team has 10K more gold than the enemy team. Down here, this means the red team has 10K more gold than the enemy team. So we're the red team, they were the blue team. At what point on this did we start taking over the game?
22 minutes.
Yeah, okay. How do you see that?
The line goes in the red team favor.
Yeah, a lot, right?
Yes.
This right here is a swing and goal because we went from being, they had more gold than us to holy shit, right?
Yeah.
In 3 minutes, we increased our lead by 9.2k essentially.
Baron power play.
Baron power play. So we won a team fight. We took a Baron after that, won another team fight, took all the things, right? So this is what I'm looking for. Okay, you died. Remember, this whole thing started. How do I know if it was a good team fight or not? How do I know if my death was worth or not? You died, and then afterwards, you got something, which you can see from the swing and gold. You can see from the ratio of kills. Like here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm counting the kills. 11, 12 to 0 kills. We got 12 unanswered kills, right? So if we're going back to our thing, yeah, we shit on them here. Objective swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 0. Worth, right? Yeah, let's look at another game. Yeah, let's look at one where we got our ass kicked. So this one here, a little bit different. We're at least trading kills back and forth, but same kind of thing happens. Here's the snowball. It looks like they took over right around here and then kept it going. Here it seems to be like the magical breaking point. But same kind of thing. Here it's like we trade a tower for a tower, but they get a few extra kills and a dragon. This is more worth for them than worth for us, right?
Yeah.
So this is the kind of stuff we're going to be looking for. Every time you die, we're going to be evaluating, okay, was it worth or was it worthless? And this is the kind of stuff we're going to look for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are worth, and there are a lot of them that are worthless. I'd say I definitely the pattern with my games is I either raffle stomp or I get raffle stomped.
Right, and so we are going to systematically make it so you only stomp.
Okay.
All right. So worthless, right? So this is worth. This is worthless. What would worthless look like?
Okay. You take a team fight that you didn't need to take defending a Cloud Drake.
Sure. Well, I mean, still Cloud Dragon's an objective. But
it's an objective, but you dive, you wipe your entire team for a Cloud Drake.
So let's do this, right? Sure. If you wipe your entire team for a Cloud Dragon.
Baron, why weren't you doing something else on the map? You don't need to contest that. If there are all 5 there, there's other objectives you can contest.
Cloud Dragon is actually a good objective. Unpopular opinion. But let's say your team gets wiped. Look at this. What happens, right? How many kills did your team get? Less than 5, I'm assuming, right? How many kills did their team get? 5, because your team got wiped, right? Is that less than 0? Yeah, they got more kills than you. So this thing will tell you, oh shit, you screwed up. Actually, less than or equal to, let's say. Objective swing. Did you get a Cloud Dragon?
No.
No. So it swung in their favor. They got more things than you did after the team fight. Hey, they killed you a whole bunch and took a thing. Do they have more gold than you now?
Yes.
Also, you're dead. Can you farm when you're dead?
Nope.
Can you have experience when you're dead? No, you just said it, right? So, again, this is why we're going to focus on deaths and not kills, because it's more important. As weird as that sounds. This is like if you ever watched the Karate Kid movie back in the day, not the new one with Will Smith's kid and Jackie Chan, but the original one, right? Mr. Miyagi. Like he didn't start him, like uppercutting people and doing like the crazy whirlwind crane kick bullshit. He started him, wax on, wax off, right?
Yeah.
And that's to learn the fundamentals. Well, this is like that kind of bullshit. If you get really good at only making your deaths worth, you are not going to lose games. This is something I have to work on. This is something everybody has to work on, right? Like one of my main problems, because I don't have as much time to play the game, so I'm falling behind on patches and stuff, is I pick bad engages with my champion who needs to pick a good engage to win games. So, like, this is something where there's a lot of little intricacies behind it, and there are a lot of drills we can do to work on this. But ultimately, this is how we can measure how good or bad you are at doing it. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So after this, we are going to watch one of your games and go through all this shit too. Like, I'm not just telling you this, okay? Here, let's actually skip to objective control. What do I mean by this?
Baron control, even vision control is an objective, to be honest.
Sure. Let's focus on objectives.
Controlling objectives means that you have enough pressure. So, example, if I wanted Baron and I'm blue side, I'd push up top and middle lane and have those lanes pushing in for extra vision and ward around the Baron so that I could see them coming. ideally that would be Baron control.
That is important. How do I tell how good you are at Baron control?
If I die at Baron,
I mean, if you die at Baron, what if it was, Worth, and you get Baron?
I don't know. How would you tell?
All right, the way I would do it is over a bunch of games. Remember how I was like, hey, play 10 games and give them to me? Over a bunch of games, I would be looking at your
Got
Barons.
8.
I want to look
I'll
at
give
this.
you 2 more tonight.
Good. That's fine. I want to look at this. Got it?
Mhm.
So let's say... Does that kind of make sense? So again, we did addition earlier, and you're having trouble because you're drinking and whatever. If you take more Barons than they take, you're better at taking Baron. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for dumbing it down to my rummed up brain.
Sure. No, man. I'm making sure you and everybody else gets it too. So another thing too. Actually, Zelda has a good point. You can get experience from assists when you're dead, but remember, there's like a timer ticking down before the assist stuff wears off. So if they chase like a Singe halfway around the map for a minute before killing him, you're not going to get that. That is kind of a good point.
I'd be surprised if they chased around Singe for a minute and didn't die.
Yep. But here, what I'm going to do is at your team's level, right? We're going to look at this, and we're going to look to see, all right, are you making sure your team gets more shit than the enemy team gets on average, and we can compare you to every single player on your champion, on your role at different points of time in the game. That's important, right? If you're getting
looking at different points in time in the game,
that matters. A lot of there's a couple other sites popping up. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. I don't think any of them do it right, but none of them look at points in time in the game, and that is a mistake. None of them look at like if you're looking at support champions, right?
Yeah.
You play a Janna completely different than you play a brand support. You're going to look at different things.
It also transfers into lane. Like, I could destroy in lane and not be able to transfer that lead.
Oh, exactly.
I could get stomped on in lane and still be relevant later in the game and still carry, even though I got stomped on because I knew how to stay relevant.
So that's another reason, right? If we're looking at early game stuff and you're fine, I'm not going to focus on early game because you're fine. I'm going to focus on mid game where, for whatever reason, you're throwing there. We'll dig in and figure out why. But this kind of stuff is going to pinpoint where you're having trouble, where you're not, right?
Yeah.
Make sense? So this one, I just wanted to show. This is a very simple thing. That's all I want to talk about it. You can insert any one of these nouns in there. There's other stuff in here, like first tower. That one is an objective. That's worth gold, right?
Yeah.
First blood. That's a thing, right? It's worth more. So it's like, how often do you guys, your team, get first blood versus how often do you not get first blood? That's something that's interesting to look at. Maybe you guys are doing a bunch of dumb invades, and that's why you're losing your first blood stuff. We can tell that looking at the data, right?
Yeah.
So a whole bunch of shit we could look at. Makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Zelda talking about how all of her experience being dead feels bad, man. All right. So there we go. Let's go back to vision and map awareness. Why do you think this is a top laner's job?
Okay. You're close to Baron, you can control river. If I've pushed a lane up past where I can't farm, I can let the lane reset and go and grab scuttle and get control and vision in river. I can ward down into the jungler's blue. If I'm see him pop up on map somewhere else, I can ward his jungle, get deep wards in there.
So if I wanted to show how good you were at warding, what would I look at? It's important. I do think it's right. Like, I'm actually surprised you answered that because that's like a deep one that most players ignore.
Right.
By the way, there's a couple sites that are really good at this. One of them.
They ignore what?
I'm just saying a lot of players ignore the warding aspect, right? Like, giving vision to your team is like one of the best ways to keep them safe and win games, right?
Well, like if I see the jungler pop up bottom at for whatever reason he shows up somewhere else in the map, I go and place a deep ward in his jungler, a couple deep wards in his jungle. He pops up there. Now my bot lane can be more aggressive. Now mid lane knows maybe to play it a little safer because he's at blue buff.
Good.
Or maybe we see both of them at blue buff, and my mid laner knows, hey, his mid laner's at blue buff. Now he can push out and then go back. all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff you can do with vision. Vision wins games. I
Agreed.
wouldn't say it's the sole job of the top laner, but the
It's
top laner
not.
can get some pretty critical pinks down, and he can get, red wards. I miss pink wards. And you get some pretty critical.
I still call them pinks, but yeah.
He get some pretty critical red wards down and get some pretty good wards down around Baron. And if he gets the right vision items after 9 minutes or 9 levels, he can infinitely ward across the entire map.
Sure, and you can keep your team safe and all that good stuff. So there are some websites that will actually watch your game in real time and then figure out how many people your wards see and then figure out, oh, this was a good ward or bad ward based on how many times they revealed people. But that's kind of bullshit in my mind, because what if you're like a support and you're just dancing in and out of the fog of war, spamming your mastery, and like, it can kind of lie to you. So what I've kind of developed to look at this is a little bit different. So who is the map awareness mostly for? Let's think early game, just to make it a little simple. Laners. Okay, why?
To keep from dying to cheese.
Okay, what kind of cheese?
Jungle cheese, or even honestly roaming cheese.
Okay, you said jungle or roaming. How do you know if somebody's roaming?
Ideally, they'd ping MIA, but you can just look on the map and you don't see them. You should assume.
Oh, the support is missing. Where's the support?
Heading up to mid for a gank.
Maybe it's not a freaking mystery. Maybe they're in this bush, but that's why you have your laners say, okay, roaming is happening, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing, right? Again, you can use your eyes and be like, everybody is accounted for. I'm not going to get ganked by the support because I see the support here with my eyes, which I have in my head, right? It's right there. It's not freaking rocket science. They're there, right? So that's good. But if they're missing, and if you die to that, that's your fault because, again, you have eyes in your head that you can use. Okay, jungler's a little different, right? Where could the jungle be?
Until the jungle shows, you really have no idea where he is. You can kind of predict. Some will prefer to start red, some will prefer to start blue. But until
you
they
can figure it
show,
out.
you can see.
There are some ways.
Really, you can see without seeing how much farm they have, where they are.
Mm-hmm. There are ways, right? So here, like a quick 30-second breakdown on how to track the enemy jungler in this season. Where are the 2 places you can start as jungle? There's 3 technically, but in solo queue, nobody's ever going to do the 3rd one.
Red and blue.
Red and blue.
You were thinking of ravens as the alternate start, right?
Yep, the chickens. So chickens actually give you an extra 150 experience level 1 because of the way your jungle item works with stuff that is higher level than you. All the jungle camps start at level 2. If you have a jungle item, you start at level 1. Everything you kill that is a higher level than you get 30 extra bonus experience. There's 6 chickens here. You kill 6 things, you get 30 times 6. Actually, it's the 5 little ones give you 30 times 5, 150. The big one always gives you plus 50. So you're always going to get that. Don't worry about that. But this gives you an extra 150. So some junglers that want to get fast 6 and have good AoE clear, like Graves, should start at chickens. Usually you want a leash from your team. And in solo queue, I have not ever, I've tried this 20 times, had a successful chicken leash to start. Ever. It shouldn't be hard. You're playing like Ziggs mid, you throw 1 Q into the middle of them at the beginning. But somebody always steals a chicken, or someone just auto-attacks the big one and doesn't hit the little ones, which you have to kill first.
If you feel any better, that happened in an LCS game I was watching.
Oh, I'm sure it did. So, like I'm saying, it happens at all levels, right? So because of this, most people aren't going to start here, and if they do, they're probably boning themselves, in a bad way. I guess. Okay, never mind. Words. So, okay, if they can only start realistically one of 2 places, let's just move on. Where can they start, right? Red or blue? If you, as a top laner, wanted to tell your team where the enemy jungler is starting, what could you do?
G board.
Where?
Red or blue? Well,
red or blue?
I guess your top lane. So red or red is also on top. Yes, red or blue.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what side. Like if you're this guy, go towards red, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so go do this.
You don't necessarily need to put yourself at too much risk. You can do it most of the time from river.
Yeah, because 80% of the time, they're going to be starting bot side, so they get the better leash from their bot lane and speed up their clear and come murder you at 3 minutes, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's look down here. Hey, you see the jungler starting blue. Where is he starting?
If he's not at blue, starting red.
No, he's starting blue. You see him. He's on your ward.
Okay.
Well, where's he starting?
Blue.
Blue. He's starting blue. It's the easiest thing in the universe. Okay, he's not starting blue. Where is he starting? You said it already.
Red.
He's starting red. Congratulations. You've now tracked the jungler. Where is he probably going to move towards if he's starting red?
If he's starting red, he's going to move over to Krug, right?
Well, he could move over to Krug. Sure, that's a thing. But I'm saying, like, over the course of the next 2 minutes, what's he probably going to do?
He's going to move topside, and you should be looking at him to 3 to 4 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes, he is somewhere in here. All right, let's say he started blue side. Same kind of thing. And you see him with your ward, so you know this, right? If you don't see him, he's down here. If you do see him, he's here. Unless he's invading. Yeah. But you should be able to see that because your teammates should be doing similar things with vision or guarding, right? So he's starting here. Where is he going to be 3 to 4 minutes? Probably 90% of the time.
Bot lane.
He's going to be down here somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, so as a top laner, do you need to worry about the jungler at 3 to 4 minutes?
No.
Why?
Because he should be on the bot side of the map.
Because he's literally as far away as possible from you. Maybe 5 minutes you need to worry about him, but no, he should be down here, right? Yeah. So I'm saying, like sure, you don't necessarily know where he is if you don't see him, but you do. Because there's only so many routes the jungle can take. Now, I've played like over 10,000 jungle games, so like I can track this. And I'm like, why don't my idiot top laners know? Well, it's because not everybody has that same experience, right? But all you have to do to get that is put one ward down, and now you can keep your entire team safe for the first probably realistically 7 minutes of the game if you guys keep refreshing this information. All right, so if you wanted to know how good or bad you are at warding, how good or bad you are at using information to keep your team safe, what would you look at?
How many wards placed? Although doesn't that not show up on blue wards?
Kind of. Okay, so you think wards placed? Let's say you have a whole bunch of these wards. I do this shit all the time. Not in the bush. You missed your bush.
No.
And then you got mad, and you're like, no, I'm going to put it in there, and then you miss again. And you're tilted. Like, okay, I got 2 wards down. I'm doing it, right? I'm doing the stuff. I'm making it happen, you guys. We got vision.
It feels bad.
And then the jungler, like, goes through here and kills you, and you didn't see him. But like, is number of wards a good metric?
No, not really.
No, it's shit.
Is it how many people they've seen? How would you even measure that?
That's how some of the competitors, like, do it. How some of these competing, like, auto training sites are trying to do it. I think that's shit too, because if you see them, like here, let me give you an example. You're going to be the orange team. You're up against, let's say you're a Lawai. You're up against Darius, right? I think that was one of your games where the title was tilted.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that game.
No worries. You have a ward here. It sees the enemy Lee Sin, who's level 6. Come.
Yeah.
Is it a good ward?
Yes.
Okay. Are you dead?
Yes, it should be further down in the river.
But do you see my point? But it saw him. It revealed him.
Okay, yeah. I mean, ideally, you should have it at his jungle exit.
Yeah, so it should be
here. Would probably just drop a ward and Q.
Or it should be here, so you can see him do what you were talking about, where he would jump to a ward over the wall or use the little, like, blast cone to jump over the wall. Sure. But I'm just saying, like, you need enough time to react to the information, too. It's not just, did I ward? It's not just, did I ward and did I see somebody? It's, did I ward and did I use the information from seeing someone to make the correct decision, right?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to see that, how the hell would you see that?
I don't know. Deaths.
Deaths, exactly. So here. Deaths to X. Like that's what I want to look at. So this kind of thing early will be more important. Like late game during team fights, if you die to the jungler, it means a completely different thing than early game if you die to a jungler, right? Like early game, first 10 minutes of the game, you die to the jungler, what does that mean?
You weren't paying attention.
Your map awareness is shit. You didn't have wards. You got baited. You were overextending. A whole bunch of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Late game, you die to a jungler, just means you had a team fight. It's less useful. But this kind of thing, what we can look at is,
death to junglers and death to mid lane.
Death to junglers, death to lanes that aren't yours is what I'm going to say. Okay? Mm-hmm. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
And also stuff like this. Also objectives. If you're not controlling Dragon or Baron or Rift Herald, it means you're not warding them so that you can have that proper setup, which we talked about like 5-10 minutes ago, stuff like that. But again, we're going to look and see if you are dying a whole bunch, and also if your team is dying a whole bunch. So let's do this. Because people always complain about how top lane is an island. No, it's not. Like sure, you're all by yourself, but that doesn't mean you're separate.
No,
so,
trust me, you do well enough and push hard enough, the jungler will come up and say hi.
Sure. Okay, so let's say you were doing your job, and you got the ward here, right? And you can see that like this is up, and you don't know where the jungler is. He's not here. Where is he probably?
Red side. Sorry.
He's probably red side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you are this orange team. Your team looks like this. What could you do as a top laner? And remember, your map looks like this because your team is bad. You have like a zillion player that learned from Aoki and isn't building Sightstone.
You're saying that just because he's watching.
I love Aoki to death. He started building Sightstone, so I can't make fun of him anymore. Kanye West is zillion. Follow Aoki if you guys don't. He's a god. But I mean, like, it's a top laner.
Caution, jungle missing, or say jungle MIA, or jungle missing caution.
I say jungle is bot side, care bot, something like that. And then I would do the spam ping in case they don't speak English or they're stoned or something, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Or maybe what ends up happening is, the support walks up here, and puts a ward down. Or maybe what happens is you see the jungle. Let me get rid of this goopy fog bullshit. You see the jungle walk up here and start doing blue buff. Okay, now you're like, hey, never mind, jungle is top, right?
Uh-huh.
But just saying that, using those wards, it gives your jungler information. So even if this is like a shitty bronze 5 jungler that has no idea what he's doing, he thinks Udyr is good, and he's building his 3rd Infinity Edge like I do, if he sees the jungler top, he's going to be able to make and pull off this tower dive a little bit easier. He's going to be able to get this dragon. He's going to be able to invade and do things. Maybe he even wards. I don't know. Maybe he sets up the, like, I can now see exactly where you are wards. But the game becomes a lot easier, right? And it all started because you did this.
Yeah. So
again, we're going to get at that by, get rid of that, by looking at stuff like this. So it seems weird, but looking at deaths to things can tell you how good you are at warding, and it's better than all the other bullshit that these data mining companies are doing, which doesn't actually tell you anything. Kind of makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Eyesore has a good point. Udyr can just kill the jungler if all his AP. I agree. All right. Or I think he's talking about the zillion with death cap item 1 or whatever. Sorry, I'm getting a little sleepy because we've been talking for 2 hours.
It's okay. You can grab a cup of coffee or just
oh no, I may refill in a second. All right, situational bullshit. Let's finish this up, and I'm gonna ignore the jungle tonight. Like you watch enough of the stream to understand what you need to do as a jungler, but we can go through that another time too. All this stuff, by the way, is important for junglers as well. It's just slightly weighted differently. Situational bullshit. What do I mean by this?
Things that you can do to just cheese the fuck out of something, a Janna and a or actually better one, Malphite and Yasuo on the same team.
Okay, so how would I measure if I'm doing the Malphite Yasuo wombo combo effectively?
How many kills Yasuo or Malphite has with Yasuo assist or Malphite assist?
Okay, are we doing that anywhere?
I don't know. Are we?
I would look at stuff like this. I would look at swings and gold.
I don't know. How would you measure it?
I think we're already doing it with all this stuff. You can just look at gold over time, look at experience, look at objective control. Like, all this stuff will tell you if you're doing that kind of thing. So we don't need to worry about that. Anything else? Like let's say you're playing like a Gangplank top versus a Maokai top. Like, do you have different jobs?
Maokai's job is to survive.
Yeah, Maokai's job is to just be an annoying, tanky CC monster for as long as possible. What's Gangplank's job?
To be a crit monster.
Yeah, to do the damages, right? So they have completely different roles. So if you have like a Zac mid or something, like a Janna jungle, you're probably going to want to play something more like a Gangplank than something like a Maokai, unless your team comp is just weird. But do you see why?
Yeah, fitting into your team comp.
This kind of stuff is really hard to measure, just from the data. Like so you have to get at it from, okay, did we do a bunch of the stuff that helps you win the game? Am I not dying a lot? Is my team dying a lot less than they normally do? Are we getting more things than the enemy team is whenever we have like a fight? Am I getting more stuff than the enemy team? Like, we're going to look at if you're doing the situational bullshit from this other stuff and just kind of infer it. Okay?
Yeah.
And I mean, if we just watch videos, like, I'm going to zero in and be like, this is really good or this is really bad. But if we're using like a machine learning thing, comparing you to every other person that plays Gangplank in the player base, it's really tough to be like, wow, your mechanics were perfect. You got your third ghost barrel out. You did the things. Like that's hard and unnecessary. So we're just not going to do it. Make sense?
Yeah.
But this is part of your job, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I actually want to watch one of your games. Do you have one in particular you'd like to focus on? You sent me 7. I'm going to watch all of them. On stream, I just want to watch one so that people can see how we can apply all this stuff in real life, okay?
Probably one of the Pantheon games.
Pantheon games. All right, I'm going to switch my things so they don't steal your social security number, which you sent me for no reason. I got Pantheon 1, Pantheon 2, Pantheon 3. You got to...
Oh, we can all still see it.
You shouldn't be able to see it. I'm screen sharing with you. The stream is black except for my beautiful face.
Sounds good. Let's see here. I don't know. Pick Pantheon. I don't remember which one. I got crushed in one and stomped the other 2. So just pick one. I don't remember.
Crushed in one, stomped in the other. Ouch. You got stomped or you stomped?
I stomped in 2 of them and I got like destroyed in the other.
All right, I'm gonna pick this one in the middle, and I'm gonna go to YouTube. Do you mind if I share the link with everybody so they can follow along at home? All right, let's do that.
People are they're welcome to see it, and they're welcome to subscribe to that YouTube channel. There's going to be a lot of Mass Effect content coming
Cool.
soon.
I am sub to you. All right, so you have a Sejuani jungle. Oh boy, this is a good one then. All right, let's do this.
I honestly don't even remember this game. I had to pull some from some games a couple weeks ago because I.
No worries. This is perfect. We are probably going to cringe pretty damn hard because you don't remember. And whenever you watch yourself, especially later, like it's a very good learning opportunity because you're like, why the hell did I do all these things that are dumb? Like I do that every single time I watch one of my games.
Should I refill my drink?
Yeah, I'm actually going to do that too. I'm going to walk away for a few seconds, refill my caffeine so I can be more energetic and more entertaining and stuff like that.
And I'm going to refill my alcohol. Back.
Yeah. But chat, what I want you to do while I'm gone for 2 minutes, tell me which team you think is going to win based on team comp alone. And also what you think people's win conditions are. If you don't know what a win condition is, we'll talk about it in a second. But I'll be right back. Figure that shit out. Help me be a better coach so I don't have to do work. Pretty fast. You need more time. That's fine. But we're going to talk about it. The balanced team going to win. Okay, maybe. We have a couple tools that make LeBlanc not as useful on the enemy team. Point and click CC. She has to dash in a straight line. Very easy for Sejuani to hit her. Granted, if your team is done like mine, people will stand in front.
Look at that timing.
Yeah, perfect, man. So I asked the chat when you went to refill the booze, which team do you think will win based on team comp alone? So what do you think, my friend? I was talking through some stuff. We have some thoughts that the balanced team will probably pull it out a little. Red wins because of better skins. Skins to win. It makes sense. Science. What ELO is this? I think we said this is around Silver 4 ELO.
This particular game would have been bronze.
And you got people with plat borders. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I think last season really fucked it up because I've seen plenty of people. I've seen somebody in Diamond down in Silver.
Dude, I played 200 games on Sejuani this season, and I barely climbed back to Diamond 5 because she is just so shitty. So if this is a Sejuani main that doesn't have 7,000 games like I do, I actually believe this could be a Platinum Sejuani main who's stuck in Silver because the champion is in a bad spot. Like, it is rough. Also, she's taking Grasp in the jungle, which is the dumbest thing. Okay, so there might be a reason she's down in Silver, but let's not be mean. We're watching to learn from your perspective.
Well, one of the hypotheses I have from last season is the reason we're seeing so many people lower ranked this season is that Flex Q allowed people to be carried that got a little higher than they normally would.
Oh yeah, that too, right? People. The matchmaking is shit in my opinion in this game. I've had master tier players, like last year they have a master border, playing against people who are seeing diamond players for the first time. They're like, hey guys, I was gold last season. Just climbed up to diamond, on a win streak. Like, I get that 1 out of 20 games, and
Well,
That
I'd also
is
rather wait 10 minutes to start a game than get somebody that was autofilled and just going to int the whole game.
yeah, that too. But let's not even worry about that because that is something you can't control. That's on Riot's end to fix, whatever. Right now, you got to play the hand you've been dealt, and you've been dealt this hand. And we got some good stuff here. Shin's team, because he's my one-trick pony, good reasoning. Skins to win so far. LeBlanc is a little strong right now, so we're thinking that. Like, what do we think?
I would actually say our team, we have a lot of CC. All the CC. We have a Zillion, we have a Thresh, we have a Sejuani. I don't really have CC. I guess I do have CC. I have a W. But we have a lot of control on our team. If we utilize that properly, we should be able to even lock down the LeBlanc.
Okay, how much damage do you have?
I mean, Ziggs, Zillion, and oh, that's an AD Ziggs. I forgot about this game.
This is either an AP carry Ziggs with Ignite, or you have an AD carry Zillion bot, or maybe they're both AP because it's bronze or silver or whatever. Like I
don't remember. Zaliant must have been my duo queue because that's my buddy. So this must have been a duo queue game.
Looking at this, just because you don't have a lot of AD damage, and also, okay, let's say you jump in as Pantheon. You got to go melee range, right?
All AP.
You're all AP. So Hex Drinker, Maw, she'll get an Abyssal Scepter first item. If you jump in, what's going to happen to you? Are you going to kill anybody?
No.
Even alive, I mean, like, maybe you can make it work. Like, I'm thinking Sejuani ult into Ziggs ult. Your ult can go on top of that. Zillion throws 2 bombs on top of that. Thresh hook's a priority target. It's possible.
Ideally, if Jhin ults, I'd ult on top of Jhin and then eat Jhin alive, but that's an ideal situation.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Like their team comp, how would they engage, actually? What's their engage? Let's talk through that. Your engage is like you have a nice little wombo.
Nautilus engage and Shen engage. Actually, Nautilus can even go in and Shen could ult Nautilus and then taunt for even further into the backline. There's a bunch of different stuff.
Like ideally, I would have Jhin ult to start. That will slow people to make them dance. That'll make it so Nautilus just runs straight at him. I like the Shen ult on top of Nautilus. Maybe you save it until he gets low so Shen can keep split pushing. And then Nautilus just picks out whoever they want to kill. LeBlanc jumps in, murders them. Kindred is just there doing DPS while this is happening, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you jump in and they try to do the big wombo. Why am I saying you're probably not going to do anything this game? There are 2 tools on the enemy team that I'm looking at.
Kindred's ult.
That's one of them. What's the other one? Let's say you're about to kill that Jhin. What's going to happen if the enemy team is good?
Shen should ideally ult him.
Shen clicks R. Great. You're on cooldown. Are you going to win that one?
Probably not, no.
I mean, maybe. It depends how fed you are. But if on equal terms, are you going to win a 2v1?
No. Like I said, I don't remember this game. This is either one of the ones I raffle stomped or got stomped.
So right now, I'm just looking at like your team's composition, their team's composition. I'm thinking these guys win because they have a really good front line. They have a lot of damage. They have mixed damage. I'm looking at your team, and it's going to be tough. Now, if they're singling somebody out, like Jhin is ulting one person, Nautilus is ulting one person, LeBlanc's throwing her entire kit at one person, does your team have any good tools to negate that?
No, not really.
You have 2.
I mean, we have the Pantheon W and Zillion stun, but...
Nope, not thinking about those.
All right, what do you think about?
And again, I'm asking this because this is the kind of stuff that matters for thinking. Like, I can do something with the coaching tool that'll be like, okay, you're playing this champion. Does it make sense with these champions into these champions? We can look at every single combination of stuff and like see if win rates are optimal or whatever. And be like, no, you should have played Maokai, actually. Or no, you should have played Trundle, actually.
So then I feel like I missed your question because I'm...
All right, so I'm thinking, like, right now, let's say Jhin is ulting one target. Nautilus is laying down his 4 seconds of CC on one target. LeBlanc is going to jump in and eat them. Does your team have any tools that can stop them from murdering somebody? They do. They have 2, by the way.
Well, Zillion's ult is one.
Boom! Zillion's ult. If you kill them and he comes back.
Stun him out of his ult.
Stuns could work. I'm thinking like Thresh Lantern, though.
Thresh Lantern to pull someone out or shield.
Sure. Like, LeBlanc jumps in, they click the Thresh Lantern, she can't land any of her shit.
Or she gets pulled along with you.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't? I've never played her, so I don't even know how her kit works.
So that's another thing. Like coaching stuff, like we're gonna keep asking questions like this. If you don't know how somebody's kit works, the recommendation I make to people is Every single time there are free-to-play champions. Play a co-op versus AI game. Just intro if you want to do it fast. Against custom if you want more IP to buy more runes and champions. But play as the champion that you don't understand.
Okay.
And you are playing to figure out what they're good at and what they're bad at. It's like, damn, it's really hard to pull off this combo. It's hard for the silver people playing LeBlanc for the first time to also pull off that combo, right? So you want to force them to do the hard stuff, to like make mistakes, and you want to stay away from the stuff that comes easily, right?
Yeah.
So do that. So if you don't know LeBlanc, and LeBlanc is free to play LeBlanc before you play ranked. Play every champion that is free to play that you don't understand in at least one co-op versus AI game before you go into ranked.
Sounds good.
Do that. That's a good exercise. But yeah, like Zillion R is really good. Like, hey, they're gonna dump a bunch of damage on one person. Zillion clicks R. Can't kill him the Zillion, right?
Yeah.
So that's something you can do. Someone's saying Ziggs W. You were saying Sejuani CC, your CC. Sure, but maybe you pick the bad team fight. Shin comes in, gets a 4-person taunt. Kindred kills you all. Like,
Feels bad.
Feels bad. Thresh Lantern. It's cleaner. It's easier. They just wasted a bunch of alts. Now you're out free. Thresh 10-second cooldown. Jin ult a minute or so. Nautilus ult a minute or so. It's a better trade, right?
Feels bad.
Yeah. So, just looking at this, both teams have tools to negate the other team. And these guys are like squishy, 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 and then 2 tanks. So if this team can delete the squishies, they win. If this team can like pick somebody off and stack magic resist, I think they win, because you can be negated by like a Kindred, you can be negated by like Nautilus just CCing your face, something like that. So another thing to think about if we're going deeper, what should your build probably be this game?
I believe this was when lethality was OP. I went straight lethality.
So let's say like glass cannon, tanky, off tank, but let's do something like that. Just simplify it.
I believe, if I remember correctly, I went glass cannon with GA.
Okay, that actually kind of works, because you jump in, blow all your cooldowns, hopefully somebody dies. If you get blown up, GA pops a few seconds later. That gives your team time to catch up. Maybe Zillion can click R on you when the GA respawns. That'd be actually pretty good. I like that. If you didn't want to rely on teammates, if you didn't want to rely on the GA, which is kind of expensive, I would say off tank would be pretty good. Get 1 or 2 damage items, like Black Cleaver is one of those damage items.
Okay.
And then go straight tank so that you can jump in and survive to get like 2 rounds of cooldowns off. You know what I mean when I say cooldowns?
Yeah, you're talking about my Q.
Your QWE, right? So that's that. So let's see if you do that. Okay, ready to watch?
Sure.
All right. And it's a 30-minute game. I'm going to do double speed. I just shared the link in chat with everybody. I'm going to do it again in case we got new people or old people watching. We will do that. Now your side chick is talking about a bunch of stuff. Blue has a massive skirmish-style comp, whereas red wants straight team fights. Yeah, that's another thing, too. Skirmishes, like LeBlanc wants to pick a bunch of people off. You guys want to do the big wombo combo. So again, if you could wombo the carries, it'll be better. All right, I'm going to pause the game in a second.
Lagging on my end, so I'm going to watch it in your stream.
Yeah, I think that's actually fine. Stream has a little bit of lag, so what we can do is synchronize watches, too. I'm going to pause at 2 minutes, okay?
Okay, yeah. It's super, when you're fast forwarding, the YouTube video is super laggy in Hangouts. So.
Yeah, so that's completely worthless. So for sure. Okay, if anything, we can turn off the screen share if it's lagging for you, because that's shitty, too.
No, I mean it's fine. I'm just watching the particular video part on the stream. That's all.
Okay. So right now, is your team doing good stuff, bad stuff? Like, what do you think? 2 minutes into the game.
I'm looking for the early cheese instead of warding, so that's bad.
Yeah, like where's the enemy jungler right now?
No one has any idea because nobody's warding it.
Let's say you're going for the early cheese. Enemy jungler started red. Good idea, bad idea?
Bad idea, because he'd be there to back him up, although he doesn't because this is this elo. But
sure, but we're going to play assuming that you're up against Challenger Smurfs until proven otherwise, okay? I'm going to teach you how to beat those guys, and then when they're not, because you'll be able to tell very quickly when they've missed every CS or whatever, then you're allowed to like go ham and kill them. But until then, you want to play safe until proven otherwise, because that's how you win, as weird as that sounds. This is a strategy game, right?
Yeah.
So right now, if you want it to be better, and don't worry about your idiot teammates, if you want it to be better, what should you be doing right now?
Warding.
Warding where? Warding what?
Trying to drop a ward into his red, but I'd be very cautious about going into that tri-bush because he could be sitting there.
Okay, it's a Shen, right?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, he'd probably start Q, so
Is Shin going to beat a Pantheon level 1?
no. Not unless I'm stupid.
Okay. Now, you could go in there. Let's say you walk into Tribrush and Shin is waiting there. Do you keep going in ward?
No.
Okay. Shin is not there. Do you keep going in ward?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of your thing. If you walk in there, and like 2 people jump out at you, unlucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not usually going to happen. Like look at where your team is right now. Is anybody really doing that? Like Ziggs is AFK at mid tower, you're AFK like in the top bush. Sejuani's guarding one exit, but you're not really scared of her, and she's probably terrified because Sejuani is super weak in the jungle this patch.
Yeah.
Like if you walk into that bush, 90% of the time is someone even going to be there?
No.
So go in and ward. If someone's there, walk away. Shin shouldn't be able to kill you. You have plenty of time to recall. When should you be warding? Like on the game clock.
On the game clock, 1:45.
Why 1:45?
Because that's the minimum amount of time to get back to lane.
I disagree. Look, 1:45 is good, but like by then people have time to set up and stuff. Let's do this again. Red and blue. When do they spawn?
Isn't that 2 minutes?
A little bit before. And again, you said you had sticky notes, right? It might be time to update those sticky notes, right? Changes the shit around.
I didn't look at them. I was guessing. Oh, I don't have their initial spawn time. I have their respawn times on my sticky
Oh, no
notes.
worries. But this is good to know. So the initial jungle, the chickens spawn a little bit before everything else, like around 1:35, 1:36. Everything else spawns at like 1:39-ish. And that's goofy because Riot keeps changing it every patch, but it's so like LCS type teams can't do weird leashes to snowball their junglers. It makes it so junglers have trouble ganking early.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to ward and you walk in here at 140 and drop a ward, like there's probably, if he's starting red, Shin and Kindred are both going to be there. You might die.
Yeah.
So when would be a better time to ward?
A little earlier than that.
How?
So, like...
Yeah, when?
I don't know. Let's guess 1 minute in.
Yeah, 1 minute in is fine. 45 seconds to 1 minute, somewhere in there. Because this ward will last 60 seconds, right? This spawns at 140, essentially. I'm just rounding a little to make the math easier. So 45 to 1 minute, you will definitely see them start attacking this buff if you put the ward on it. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, so that's what you want to do instead of what you're doing here. And the reason for that, remember, we talked about it for the past 2 hours, is so you can track the enemy jungler, keep your team safe, and not die a whole bunch in lane, which will allow you to get more golden experience and create better trades so that you can win the game.
Yeah.
Which we will all be tracking. Got it? All right, I'm going to play. I'm at 2 minutes and 5 seconds playing on double speed. You're dancing around in a bush. Looks like the enemy team bot is invading. If that's happening and you see everybody, what should you definitely be doing?
Going in and warding.
Going in and warding, because you know where everybody is. You know there's no way in hell a Shin by himself is going to kill you. It's super safe. Even if Shin's in the Tribrush, just keep going and put a ward on red.
Yep.
Got it?
And keep poking him with my Q as I'm walking. Yep.
Yep. And now you're standing here, just sitting in a bush. Another thing you probably want to do here. Let's actually look at this. Nice. All right.
I didn't actually get to watch. I'm just now watching it on the stream.
I'm pausing at 3 minutes, 24 seconds.
Oh, that's the one that I... Oh, I remember this.
Now, you could have killed him.
Yep.
Because you did a bunch of goofy stuff. When he walks past the bush, like, make sure you're auto-attacking. Like, auto, Q, auto.
Yeah.
Like, you just threw a Q at him.
Auto, Q, auto, because it resets... The Q resets the auto cooldown.
Yep. Yeah. So that's, like, mechanical things. I'm just going to point those out because we're watching a video, and those are harder to get from, like, actual game data. But,
yeah, no, I've been told that by my friend in gold that I need to work on my auto.
Yep. So look at this down here. See what Sejuani did at the 2:12 timestamp?
Wolves.
No. Like, look in chat. I'm at 3:24. Chat is up.
Oh, she spammed Shen Flash. Yeah.
She just timed his flash for you. What does that mean she's doing?
Watching the map.
It means she was watching your fight, and now she's timing in her head when Shin's flash is going to be up. What does that tell you is going to happen in like a minute or so when she's done clearing blue?
That she's going to look for a gank.
Why?
Because she knows his flash is down because she's paying attention.
Yeah, so right now there's some nitty-gritty shit I can teach you about like wave control. I don't want to go into that because it's super high level, but I'm going to give you the too long didn't read version. If you wanted to set up for a gank, what should you be doing to this wave right now?
Does Shin have TP? I don't remember.
He probably does. Let's assume he does. He's Shen. He's not
I
going
mean-
to look for kills against the Pantheon.
I would either A, stop farming it and try to let it freeze, or B, shove it in a tower and try to get it to reset before it comes back to lane.
So let's take a different approach. Right now, the wave is here. There are 4 minions for him, and I think like 6 for you. Which way is he going to push?
He's going to push towards his tower.
He's going to push towards his tower. Now, I just did a talk on the Lola podcast, which is very great. Check those guys out if you guys want to learn a bunch of shit and like laugh at amazing jokes. But you can tell exactly how much or how little or how fast or how slow waves are going to push in what direction. I can send you a nice Dong Huap video if you want to like learn that in 5 minutes. But essentially what you want to do, if Sejuani is finishing up her second camp and looking to finish blue and then go top, you have about a minute, right? Where would you want the wave to be when she's up here?
Ideally towards me or in the middle.
Like probably right around here, right?
Yeah.
Right now, this is going to slowly push this way. So by the time she's done with blue and working her way up here, the wave will be right around here frozen at his tower if you just froze it and did nothing, because there's 6 here, 4 here. It's slowly going to push towards him.
So I need to reset it. So
you need to reset it. So right now, like if you needed to reset it, what would you do?
Hard shove it. Just spam my Q and auto until I could get it to shove into his tower and then reset it.
Now another thing, right? Look where your next minion wave is on the map. Can you see that? It's little and tiny. Like I'm leaning forward. Is this wave going to hit the tower before it gets reinforced?
No. Oh, sorry. Yes. No, sorry. It's going to be back in time. It's still going to be frozen towards him.
Yeah. So right here. So definitely shove this. And if you rewind this a little, you could have shoved it a little bit faster earlier so that this didn't happen. And so the wave bounce is what they call it when the tower hits it and pushes it back out. That'd be really good. Another thing that can happen, if you bounce this a little bit faster, it would freeze right here. And then what would happen is over the next 30 seconds, when the cannon wave gets here, it will start slow pushing towards you, which will allow Sejuani to finish this, do Scuttle, heal back up. And then right around when she's done with Scuttle, the wave will be right here.
Okay.
If you want to get really good at this, solo Renekton only. He's a Renekton top player. Very informative stream. Talks about how to control the wave like every 5 minutes or so when I'm watching him. He's super, super troll, fun to watch. But here, let me link him in Twitch chat. Watch him.
Yeah, I watched his full lethality Renekton build. It was kind of amusing.
Oh, yeah, that's troll, right? But so while he's doing his goofy builds and stuff, make sure that you are paying attention to how he is manipulating the wave, because, you know, that's the reason he's able to play, 6 BF sword Renekton and still win, because he's doing a bunch of this little shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, again, I'm just getting this from, like, she timed his flash. That means she is looking top for a gank. You have a good jungler on your team. And also, if you want to set up for that good jungler, you need to push this wave a little bit faster. I'm going to go to like 3 minutes and watch like that whole engage again. And I want to like see if there's little things you can do. Remember, like if you auto there when he walked past the bush, you have enough damage to all in and kill him. But you didn't do that, so he gets away with 1 health. Good flash to try to finish it, very sad. But 1 more auto attack anywhere in there, you kill him. And then you immediately shove the wave. This is good. Okay. That made me cry a little inside.
When I missed it?
Not when you missed it, but when you leveled up, it looked like you clicked the ability.
I shouldn't. It's usually linked to control.
Well, let's see if you did. Let's see. That's what I'm watching for. It looked like you did. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Nope, you controlled. Okay, good. I'm gonna absorb my tears that I was crying.
I was about to say that's one of the things you lectured me for on Volley, and I.
Okay. So right now, do you see how the wave is kind of frozen?
Yeah, I should have pushed it into tower.
No. Stay. You stay, and you don't push it at all. You don't farm it at all. But what's
so I shouldn't even try to take that cannon.
You take it when it's about to die, right? But what's going to happen, and he's fighting you in the middle of jungle creep, so you're smart to back off, because usually that means someone's coming to murder you. But right now, like here, pause. You see how you're just hitting the minions mindlessly?
Yeah.
If you didn't
Let
hit
it
the
let
minions mindlessly, what would happen?
the lane would push towards me.
Okay, and the lane would push towards you, and then when it gets right around here, what do you want to do?
Ping, help me, mama.
Well, yes, but what do you want to do, like, which is a high-level solo Renekton only type move?
Oh, freeze it.
Freeze
and leave the back casters up.
Now, so there's 25 people watching in chat. What does freeze mean for like the new player that has no idea what the hell we're talking about?
Stop the lane from moving anywhere you're last hitting, so you're controlling the movement of the lane, but you're taking it right when the minions get the little bit of health, so the lane doesn't push back towards them.
So, way to think about it, if there are 4 or more minions on one side, like imagine, there's pressure here, there's pressure here. The pressure with 4 or more will always push. That's one rule. Now, there's weird stuff going on too. Top lane is good because you have these bushes, right? Way to think about it, right in the middle. Here, I'm going to go to your tower.
Are you about to draw a grid?
I'm about to draw a grid. It's going to be boring.
I've seen LS do this before. Feels good.
Here's the number of minions you need for it to push this way, right?
Yeah.
If you have 1 or more, it's going to push that way. If you have 2 or more here, it's going to push that way. 3 or more, it's going to push that way. And actually, I think I messed this up. No, this is right. Yeah. But the closer you get to the middle, the slighter the advantage you need, if that makes sense. And then beyond, actually, no, I did mess this up. I'm sorry. We've been coaching for a while. Boop, boop. It's like that. And the reason being, like here, it gets to the point where the waves that come out of the Nexus every 30 seconds will get here before your wave, which comes over here but has longer distance to travel, right? And you're saying you watch LS do this, but from that point onwards, you need 4+.
Okay.
If you have 4 or more, like it'll always push. 4 is the magic number. But up here, you have like 1, 2, and 3, and the lane bushes kind of break it up for you, so you can look and figure out how many minions you need.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So looking at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
If
it's
I
going to
wasn't
push
last
this way.
hitting, it would push towards me. Yeah.
If you weren't last hitting, it's going to push towards you. It's still going to push a little, but it'll pretty much freeze here just because there aren't enough. So if you didn't last hit until the very last moment, it would push towards you. You can set that freeze. Notice how we said Sejuani was going to do her, topside jungle and look for a gank. Right now would be the time she'd be looking to set up a gank. She might be like running around behind a Baron pit right now to do it, but you're not letting the wave push. So because of that, she's like, okay, this guy's an idiot. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. So solo Renekton only, that'll be a good thing to look at. Controlling the wave and stuff. We'll focus on that later. Right now, I want to look at your CS. So right now, we're on the 3rd cannon wave. How many CS total is 3 waves? Sorry for math.
Nope, it's fine. 12.
So it's 6, 6, and then every 3 early game, it's 7 because a cannon minion pops up, right?
I know. Math. I got the 12.
12.
What is wrong with my brain? 18,
7,
19.
19. Boom. How much CS do you have?
I have 8.
Is 8 good or bad?
I see y'all put in 19.
Yep. Is 8 good or bad?
8 is terrible.
8 is terrible because remember you forced him out of lane and had free farm.
Yeah.
Now remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that haven't died yet. So 19 minus 5 is 14. So really you've missed 6. But there was nobody fighting you. You should have just gotten all. So that's something I'm looking at because the metrics we talked through earlier were like, hey, are you getting all the gold you should be getting so that you can get the items that'll give you more stats so you can shit on them and win the game, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that right now at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, me as a jungler is looking at and be like, okay, this guy doesn't know how the hell to last hit. If I get him a gank and leave him alone with the farm, he's not going to get it all because I just watched him miss a bunch of farm when he was all by himself. That means as a jungler in low elo, I'm going to tax you because I do know how to last hit, or at least I think I do. So like better players will have this weird mental math going on where they're looking at shit like this. And remember, we saw that the Sejuani with a platinum border down in silver was timing Shin's flash, at 2 minutes when like most junglers aren't even looking at the map.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of mental math is going on right now because you missed 6 CS.
Okay.
Now that's kind of weird and scary to think about, but again, like the way to fix that is just, last hit all the minions.
Yeah.
So this is telling me we need to work on the Elander's Guide to CS like a challenger type kind of stuff. White Fang, by the way, has some good feedback too about like freezing the lane. Like if we scroll up a little in chat, he's saying if you freeze the wave, it also means the enemy jungle can't come and farm you, right?
Yeah.
And then feed the enemy top a kill. Like right now, like you have 8 CS. If you tab, we'll be able to see Shin CS. Actually, you have him clicked, which is good. How much CS does he have? Got words.
4.
He has
That's why
4.
I clicked his target frame too. I always try to do that in lane.
Nice, and that's good. So you can see his health, so you can see his energy. Like really good laners will have like, oh, it takes this amount of energy for Shin to use his Q memorized, right? And so if you have this and you see that he's like not there yet, he can't retaliate, right? Like I don't have all that shit memorized because I don't have time for that. But like if you actually want to get good, you'd want to know that for all the meta top laners that you're going to see every single game. So it's good that you're clicking this because that'll let you see all this shit. It'll let you see if he's going a goofy build, with the stats or whatever. Probably for our purposes, don't need to worry about that because again, we're not last hitting well. We got to work on the fundamentals before we work on the nitty gritty shit like wave control and things like that. But I'm just telling you, there's a bunch more that we could be working on. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So that's another good point, though. What I want to get at with he only has 4 CS, how the hell is he going to buy items if he only has 4 CS?
He's not going to.
What if you overextend like you are right now? Is there a way he can make up the gold?
Yeah, by freezing.
By freezing. Okay, what happens when he freezes?
He
can
would
deny
stop the
you
lane
farm.
and
He can
multiple
stop the
frame.
lane here. And what happens when you're frozen here, pushed up? Maybe your ward expires.
I get ganked and die.
Ganked and die. Okay, if you die, what happens to Shin? Does he get stuff?
He gets farm and experience and likely gold.
He gets gold and he gets free farm. Is he going to have more than 4 CS if that happens?
Yes.
So against bad players, and I believe even people in Diamond are bad because I'm in Diamond and I'm a bad player when it comes to shit like this. You don't want to give the enemy free gold. You want to make them work for every single thing. Last hitting is one of the easiest things in the game you need to do. It's like brushing your teeth, eating your Brussels sprouts, whatever, man. You just got to practice it every day for like 10 minutes. Nobody does it because it's boring. Riot just made a brand new practice tool. It actually cracked me up that they released a single player practice mode on Valentine's Day. Feels bad, man. But you have this amazing tool that'll let you practice this shit. Just do it for 10 minutes as a warm-up before you go into ranked every day.
Sounds good.
So focus on that. And because this guy is going to continue having 4 CS because he's bad at last hitting, and because you're going to freeze the wave at your lane and not at his tower, right? He's not going to be able to get gold in any way. The only way a bad player will be able to get gold is if you feed him kill gold or assist gold, right? Which happens if you overextend and the jungler comes, right? So, again, if you focus on last hitting, controlling where the wave is so that he can't get shit, which is part of trading, which we talked about earlier, and minimizing your deaths, which we talked about for like an hour, he's not going to have any gold. If he doesn't have any gold, he can't buy any items. If he doesn't have the items, he can't do shit. You win.
Yeah.
So, again, just walking through the logic. This is why we're focusing on all this shit. Okay? All right, ready to keep going? I'm at like 4 minutes, 49 seconds. We're at double speed. I'm going to keep rolling, okay?
Yep.
And T-Lum is saying, please stop breathing into the mic. It's turning him on. I'm reading between the lines a little there, but like we're trying to keep.
I had the mic moved down so I could drink, and I forgot to move it back.
No worries, but he's having trouble focusing. Like a lot of the blood is not going to the brain, I guess. So like help him out, man. I'm just saying, okay? Everybody appreciates it. All right, T-Lum, I got your back, man, and some other stuff. All right, I'm gonna play 4:49. I'm playing. All right, let's see what happens. Now you're letting it up. You eat the entire wave. Now it's permafrozen at his tower. And your team got first blood. Nice. And you signaled that enemies are missing, even though they're not. That's kind of weird.
I don't remember. I think that's when he walked away.
But he didn't walk away. He was still there.
Hmm.
All right, so here. This is about a minute later. Look where the wave is.
Pushing into him.
Pushing into him, and it's still frozen at his tower, right?
Yep.
I want you to watch Solo Renekton only. I want you to learn how to manipulate waves. I'm going to give you a Dong Huap video to watch. If you want, I have like an hour-long Lola podcast episode that you can listen to.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a lot of time. But this guy has like a 5-minute video that you can watch in double speed that's way better.
Yeah.
Where is it? I think this might be it.
And yes, I know to max my Q on Pantheon. This wasn't, like I said, this was from a few weeks ago.
No
I
worries.
didn't have any recent games. I'm just responding to chat.
Oh yeah, go for it, man. And guys, like, feel free to nitpick. Sure, like he's maxing E first. You max E first when you want wave clear. You max Q first when you want harass. So maybe he's thinking, all right, I'm probably never going to be able to kill Shen because now he's getting levels. So maybe he's thinking, I want to E max so I can just continually shove the lane in, push it, break the freeze, and make it so Shin has the last hit under tower, which Shin has trouble doing until he gets like Sunfire Cape, right? And Shin mains yell at me if I'm saying something completely wrong, but this might be the logic. This might actually make sense. And then, you know, after this, he puts points in Q. You can situationally put different points in different places, right?
Well, it used to be something I used to do with tanks all the time, as I used to max E because
Yeah,
I'd
Team
have
I'm
to.
saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Nopples is maxing W on Panth and going AP because he's who he is. But all right, yeah, like there's different ways to do it. But this might not be bad because he needs to break this freeze. Right now you see Kindred mid, so you're not necessarily worried about anything. Maybe he sees Sejuani like going top for a dive on Shin. I mean, it's like silver solo queue, so good luck. Bold strategy. Let's see how it works out for him. But I don't know.
And yes, I know about Champion GG White Fang.
But no, it's good that White Fang's asking. White Fang is a better player than me, guys. So listen to him when he says stuff. All right, he's one of the people that actually know what they're talking about, not trolling.
I was just responding to him. That's all.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm telling chat though. Guy knows his shit. All right, so you are going to Emax, which is fine if you're trying to push it in. All right, right now we're seeing this is either the second or third cannon wave. I believe it's second because it's 5 minutes on the clock. Quick math, it's 19 CS total for 3 waves. How much is 6 waves? Give you a hint, it's double.
Really, bro? 32?
19 times 2 is a little more than 32.
Really? Why are you doing this?
38, okay?
38, okay.
All right.
Yay.
How much CS do you have? And remember, there's 2 that haven't died yet.
I've got 22.
So at most, you can get 24 divided by 38 is a little bit less than 2/3 of the farm.
Yeah.
Is that good or is that bad?
That's bad. I've still missed a lot of farm.
That's freaking horrible because a lot of that was free farm too, right? A good number, if you are being harassed, is like 80 to 90% of it. If you have free farm, a good number is like 95% plus.
Okay.
Especially on Pantheon, where you can use your Q if you screw up an auto attack or something to like last hit a little easier. Okay.
Okay.
Do you know the Elander's guide to CS like a challenger? Have I like talked about that? I want you to do this with the new practice tool. Okay.
Okay.
What's really nice about that is you can lock experience, and you can speed up the wave, so it's like every 30 seconds or whatever. But do this. This is gonna help you a lot. We got to work on the fundamentals. If you can't last hit, you can't do the other stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Got it. 9 + 10, 9, 10. I dig it. I like it. Yeah, you're way down if 9, 10 is the optimal number. So I mean, we got some stuff to work on. All right. Yeah. I'm just throwing stuff in Twitch chat too if you don't have the links or if you forget how to Google a misspelled version. I always just Google Islanders, and it's completely misspelled.
I've looked at his guide several times before. I need to look at it again.
You need to do it. You don't need to look at it. You just need to, at 10 minutes every day for a month, practice last hitting with all the champs you're playing. And we just made a list of them, right? Here are the champs you need to practice with. Ignore everybody else, okay? And in the jungle, you don't have to worry about last hitting as much. But with these guys, you need to, with free farm, be able to get 95% plus CS. If you can't do that, don't play ranked.
Okay.
And this is like just real talk. If you would like to climb, if you do this one thing, you'll get to gold in a month.
Okay.
If you got really good at this, like if you like 2 days, like something clicks in your brain, and you're just a savant at last hitting, you'll get to gold in a week.
Okay.
You might get to plat in a week. I don't know how good or bad the player base is. I haven't run those numbers yet, but like literally, it's that easy. That's how you climb in lane because everyone is super bad at this. Like here, we got the Shen again, right? 5 minutes. You're at 22. Let's see what he has. I'm waiting for you to click him.
I don't know if I did it here.
Okay, you hit tab and I blew it. 1 sec. Where is it?
I should have clicked him again. I don't know why I didn't.
Well, you hit tab. That has the same information here. I'm rewinding to pause it a little. Tab. Ah. All right. He has 9 CS at 5 minutes. Granted, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. So what's 38 minus 6? 32. What's 9 out of 32?
Bro.
He's at 28%, man. So you're at 66%. We're saying you have an F minus. He's at 28%. So I'm just saying this is like a little thing you can do that will set you miles apart from the player base you're probably stuck with. Like you were complaining how you can't get to gold. This is how you do it. It's boring, which is why nobody does it. But if you just do it, it's 10 minutes a day. It's like brushing your teeth, eating your Brussels sprouts, just freaking practice in the practice tool that Riot literally gift wrapped for you to get better on.
They can't hear me or I'm breathing into the mic. Hold on.
You are breathing into the mic and I can hear you and it's loud. And I am starting to get the same thing T-Lum got. So this coaching session is about to get a little more real.
All right. I moved it down even more, so.
All right. What rank is he? He is currently Silver 4, White Fang. So he is right here. Here's his op double guh if you guys want to check him out. This is the starting point. This is our first session. We're going to turn him into a god. That is the plan. TheFalkenrath, I can't hear you at all now. So, like, you fixed the breathing problem. But okay.
How's this? Is this better?
It's better. You're really quiet, but yeah, I can't hear you breathing or anything.
Okay, hold on. We're going to fix this.
What's up, Blazehawk? Okay, guys, I don't know if this is a joke or what. White Thing, what's the main difference, man? Because I have some metrics telling me stuff, but tell me. I'm curious what you think. Game knowledge? Maybe. Sure.
Recording devices.
Can you be my
This
friend?
is the correct
Sure.
microphone. This
Decision
is the correct
making.
microphone.
Sure.
Okay.
So, White Thing, I agree with you, but like there's a reason Koreans are better than NA, and one of it is they've already mastered all the fundamentals. Like if this was basketball, they practice shooting free throws every day for an hour before they do ranked.
How's this? Does it sound better?
Yeah, you're loud and you're not breathing heavily into the mic. I like it a lot.
Okay, cool.
So White Fang right now is saying the main difference between silver, gold, whatever, and diamonds is decision making. And he is correct. But there are also a bunch of other differences, and one of them, which is very easy to fix, is this like CSing, getting your gold per minute up, which is super easy to fix. But like nobody does. Like in Korea, everybody has this shit down. Like in Korea, like here we call people bronze when we're trying to be mean to them. In Korea, they call people silver because everyone has actually mastered last hitting. They're a little more arrogant, right? So here, yeah, decision making is a big difference, but it's also little shit like this that goes unnoticed. Like in my Diamond 5 games, I can count the times. Like it's more than half out of my last 20 games where my mid laner at 30 minutes has not had 200 farm. Where like sometimes they don't have 100 farm at 30 minutes. And if you do the math, like right now we said at 5 minutes, it's what, 38 CS you should have if you have perfect CS. Extrapolate that out to like every 30 seconds you're getting served on a platter, like a bunch of minions to it's frustrating is all I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
And when I say 30 minutes, I'm saying like 38 minutes. I am, but like it is a generous 30 minutes that they're still struggle busing their way to triple digit CS sometimes. And this is supposed to be in like the top, couple percent of the player base.
Yeah.
So again, my good friend TheFalkenrath, if you focus on this, because good, you're 23 CS to 9 CS. You're more than double the CS. Great. You still missed a third of them. That's freaking horrible. All right?
Yeah.
Not trying to be mean. Just if you focus on this, you'll be gold in a week. Gold can have the same CSing as the diamond. Decision making will be what is key to winning. Yeah, but I'm saying White Fang, the CSing in diamond is shit too. So now, yeah, high diamond people actually know what they're doing, but diamond's a diamond, man. Just as bad, but even more toxic than NA. I agree with that on the toxicity level. But I also agree if you look at the metrics, which you can do with the Riot API, they do have better fundamentals. All right, you're pushing this wave. Why?
I don't have an answer. I don't remember the game.
Cool. Shin is not 6, so you're not trying to put pressure there. You are 6. Maybe you're trying to get something. But right now, here, if we pause it, I am at 7 minutes and 50 seconds because I remember you couldn't see from the screen share, so I'm being a bad coach. So I'm at
It's all good.
7 minutes 50 seconds in the YouTube video, 6 minutes 37 seconds on the game clock. You just hit 6. Shin is about to hit 6, I'm assuming. Tell me about the wave. Is it going to push into him? Like, what's going on?
Push into him.
Sure. Where's the enemy jungler? Do you know?
The enemy jungler hasn't shown, but she's probably going to be heading to river because of her thingy.
Yeah, she has her mark up there, so because it's on the scuttle and that's easy, she might be going there. Kindred needs stacks. If it was anyone but Kindred, where do you think she would be going, looking at the mini-map? Sometime in the next minute.
Either bot or top because of the lanes pushing.
Well, either bot or top. That's like saying, all right, I'm going to put you in charge of foreign and domestic policy. You know, is there anything else? What are you actually going to be doing? Bot or top? Okay, what are the other decision points? That's the map. Which one is it, right?
Well, she could go for controlling dragon, but Sejuani's right there. I don't know where she'd be. I'd be worried. I'm going to play selfish and assume she's coming for me.
I'm going to assume she is bot, and she is going to ignore you. Why? What am I looking at down here? Also, better way to look at it, what am I looking at up here that is not there on the map?
Rift Herald isn't there. Baron's not there. So she'd be going for controlling dragon.
Well, her blue buff is about to spawn. Based on how she's moving through her jungle, there's nothing for her to farm top. You're a 32 CS Pantheon to like a 10 CS Shen. Probably no kill pressure up there. Dragon is up. Bot lane is fighting. She has nothing again to farm top except for that Scuttle Crab, which may or may not be up. Like where is she probably going to be? Like if you just based as Kindred and you had all this information on the minimap, which you should, where are you going to walk?
I'd ward river. That'd be where I walked. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're looking for.
There are 3 camps down here for him to farm, a dragon, and a bot lane that is currently fighting.
So I wouldn't need a ward, so I don't know. Where would I walk?
You personally, I would shove this wave and start walking mid. I think Kindred is going to be bot. I think there's going to be a party bot. Well, what did you just unlock?
My ult, so I can make presence somewhere.
Yeah, so if you start walking towards mid and like 4-man gank happens bot, you click R. Shin shoves the wave back into tower. You use your teleport. Done. So I like the decision to shove this. This is actually really good.
Okay.
But it's just because we're looking at how the map is moving. I'm reading through questions on chat, not your side chick has something. What I have to ask, though, low ELO is notoriously bloodthirsty, so how does one CS well when facing the Vlad Rip and the people that are constantly jumping on you? Well, that's where the other stuff starts going in. Google the Leaguecraft trading stance. Here. I'm just going to do this. There's like a bunch of episodes here. A guy that works for Riot, I think he's an intern, made these. Really, really good stuff. But the gist of it is, if they're bloodthirsty and fighting you and your own minions, you should win trades. And if they do that enough, they just die. That's the short answer. Other answer is, if you play well enough, cool, they're going to do that. Your minions are going to aggro them and not you. And so the wave is going to push, then you can freeze it under tower, then they shouldn't be able to do shit.
Part of it, too, you just need to stay relevant, right? If you can't get to CS, get the XP.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, if they are aggressive, you can turn that aggression against them because it'll shove the wave towards you. You freeze at a tower. They can't go aggressive. I can't talk aggressive because the tower will kill them. Or your jungler will kill them. And then you just win lane and deny them CS and maintain the freeze. That is my like high elo answer for how to deal with low elo laning wise. It depends who you're playing to. Like if you're playing Singed, you're farming on the other side of the tower probably and making them chase you, which is funnier. But if you're playing, like a Pantheon, I would just freeze that wave right there, right?
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense. And like, again, watch Solo Renekton only. See what he does when he's smurfing. That's what I would do. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, White Fang, I agree with you. More toxic, sure. I'm talking about fundamentals, right? Like, are they better at last hitting than an A? Yes or no? Yes, they are. I can just see it in their numbers, right? That's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that. All right, here, FalkenRath, ready to keep going?
Yeah.
So let's see what you do. I think the decision to shove the wave and rotate mid-bot is going to be pretty good. Why are we doing that from a metric standpoint, too? Like, why do we want to do that?
put pressure on mid and make sure Dragon's nutty. It's easy to take. I don't know.
Yeah, you're putting pressure on mid-bot, that half of the map, right? So let's say the enemy team picks a fight, and you're able to ult in. Is that a good fight or a bad fight for your team? Is that a good fight or bad fight for the enemy team?
If I'm able to ult in?
Yeah.
God, I'm having trouble focusing.
Oh, no worries.
Ult in where?
We've been talking for 2.5 hours, too, so if you want to take a break, I can just talk. But it's better if you, like, think through it.
I'm not sure where I'd ult where.
Well, sure. Let's say a fight breaks out bot lane. Right now, they are literally fighting. I'm looking at the map, and Nautilus is on top of this Ziggs. Ziggs' health bar is at half. It was zillions out of mana, so I'm assuming he just threw a bunch of bombs trying to peel. So fight's about to break out bot. If you just started walking down there so you could ult. Good, bad, what do you think?
I mean, I'd be letting Shen catch up. That would be the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, you'd be letting Shin catch up, but what if you got a bunch of kills and then took a tower and dragon?
True. So
remember what we talked about earlier? Pick a team
objective.
fight and then figure out if it was worth or worthless, right?
Yeah.
And we're looking at that by deaths, right?
Yeah.
So if you get more kills than them, great. If you get more objectives than them, great. If you get more gold than them, great. Okay, so Shin gets a few CS, catches up. Is that the same worth as a tower for your team?
It's more worth.
It's more worth for you to get the tower. Also, it's the first tower, so you get the first cement bonus. The first tower to die, gives your team extra gold. Also, you killed 2 people of the enemy team probably, since there's a support and an 80 carry bot. Each one of them is worth 300 gold plus the assist, which is half the 300 gold split evenly amongst the people. So that's 450 gold apiece. Plus, you get to shove the wave in. There's more gold experience there that your team gets. It's worth, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're looking to do that to start winning the game. Let's see if you do it. I'm playing them at like about 8 minutes on the YouTube clock. I like that you're shoving. I like that you got your potion ticking to do some more harass. Kindred was top for no reason. She went for her mark. All right, cool. Sejuani is not ganking bot. I don't know why. Maybe she's trying to get... Oh, she's trying to get her ult. That's what's going on. You have your ult. I like that you backed. Now you're going here. Sejuani is never going to catch her. What's something you could do right now? Here. Like, you're ulting top, but you just backed, right?
Did I ult top?
It looked like you were about to. Maybe you didn't. But let's say you decide to go top. What's something you could have done instead of walking back to lane? I like that you were looking around, seeing if there was somewhere you could ult.
Made presence bot lane, tried to put pressure on the dragon.
Yeah, like one thing you could have done, and it's because you have teleport too, right? For the past minute, the enemy bot lane looks like this, right? And sure,
Ult into there, and if it doesn't work out, TP back top.
Yeah, ult into there and TP back top, regardless if it works out or not, because there's a big wave pushing in, and you want that gold, right? And that experience.
Well, if it works out, though, we could put pressure on dragon.
Yeah, but you don't need to be there for that. You just killed 2 of them.
It's true.
Okay, so top was up here, jungler was up here, just showed up here, has been derping around here. We just saw Kindred do this when Sejuani was chasing the LeBlanc around, right?
Yeah.
So because Shen is pushing and the jungler is top, if you go down right here and ult while they're here, good fight, bad fight?
Good fight.
Good fight. Why?
Shen would be the only one that can make presence junglers out of the fight.
Yeah, and is Shen ahead or behind right now?
Shen is very behind.
He's very behind. If you were better at CSing, would he be very, very behind? Or sorry, rhetorical questions. If you had more gold, he would be even more behind, right? Because he's going to have the same amount of CS, but you'd have more. So this is a really good decision. I thought is, your ult radius is kind of like that, right? So from here, you ult probably around here behind them. These guys chase them in. You clean up the 3v2. Oh, Shin is hard pushing. If he didn't teleport with his ult for whatever reason or didn't teleport with his teleport, you teleport back to tower, eat the wave. These guys get the free farm. They have a Ziggs. I think you're a duo of him. Maybe he takes the tower because, he takes towers faster than any champion in the game. You see what I'm saying, though? That's a decision you didn't even look at because I saw you looking mid. I saw you looking top. Okay?
Yeah, I'm curious to see if I actually ulted this because I feel really stupid if I did.
I don't think you did. I think you were just, hovering it, which is smart. Okay, right now you have a freeze. And you're...
I believe I pushed it, probably.
Yeah, but that's fine as long as you have 4 or more. You need to, break this a little, right? You just need to maintain 4 or more minions. But what you did there is bad. And now you break the freeze for it.
Okay.
So again, solo Renekton only, very good at controlling waves. He talks through all of his decisions. Yeah, you're missing CS. Like I just watched you miss one too. I'm at like about 10 minutes here. Good and engaged. Just go on to Shen. You might have kill pressure. One more Pantheon Wombo. I would just tower dive him there, but I'm a more aggressive player than you, so playing safe is probably smart, especially Kindred marking you. Because she's 6, so maybe she like flash ults or something goofy. Sejuani recognizes that this is a free kill. Good. You just need to like W him, and then it's a free kill. You W'd him. Hey, it's a free kill. Good job. Now you get the tower. Nice. This is good. This is solid. This is good shit. I like it a lot. What's up, Rice Balls? Good to see you, man. And you get the tower. Nice. We'll pause at 11 minutes. They just got the Mountain Dragon. What should you guys be doing?
Look for Rift, which is coming up in a second, or counter jungle her.
Which one's better?
Well, Rift isn't up yet, so start taking her jungle.
When does Rift spawn?
Yeah, another thing I need on my sticky, I guess.
Yep, they changed it recently. It spawns at 10 minutes now, lasts until Baron spawns, so lasts about until 1950, I believe. Can I post a Twitch VOD? Go for it, Valkyrin. If you just post it, I can just click it when Nightbot deletes it, so go for it, man. Ninja King vouching for solo Renekton only. He's pretty entertaining. He's got a different personality than I do, but the guy knows his shit. Watch him for wave control stuff. But going back to you, Falkenrath, sorry, and White Fang's writing a novel, which is great. Sorry, I'm reading White Fang stuff. Yep. Arguing about Koreans and stuff like that. I'm just saying by the numbers, they're a little bit better.
Let me switch which cat is out.
Go for it. I want to see both.
They fight. I can only have one out at a time.
my pigs are like that sometimes. I might watch this later, Volcarin. Here, I'll post the link, though. If it's the Last Shadow, it's probably pretty good. But this is a 4-hour video, so I'm going to watch that later. I don't know what the hell that is. Rift leaves at 1945 if not in combat, or 1955 if he is. Thank you, Speedcoin. But he spawns at 10 minutes. So right now, I love that you're shoving this wave, Falkenrath. Are you still there, or are you letting cats out? He's letting cats out. I'm talking to nobody. Fantastic. This is what happens when you coach for 3 hours, by the way.
What's a pig fight like?
So imagine 2 80-pound dogs with knives taped to their mouth. And they charge and just swing their head back and forth. That's a pig fight.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I got some, like, every time I try to give my pet mini pig Charmander like a bath or something, I can get, like, here, I don't know if you can see that. That is the worst cut I've ever gotten from him. That was an accident cut, too. I was breaking up a fight. But the pigs can be a little angry.
Oh, look at that.
What's up? What are we looking at?
Your scar. I'm delayed on the stream, remember?
Oh, no worries. Got it. What's your opinion on dodging skill shots with abilities, and how often should you? I mean, that's super random. Like, it's super situational. Like, if you're going to die and they're going to win the game, yeah, use your ability to dodge it, you know?
Stop it.
Stuff like
Not
that.
you, the cat. Sorry.
I'm with Packer. Dodging hard CC where the enemy team can follow up and get a winning trade, good. You know, otherwise, you know, just maybe eat it. There are some people that are like, the tank needs to block all nid spears for the carries. No, that everyone just needs to sidestep better. So it depends what it is, I guess. Depends on the situation. Depends what point of the game it is. Like, I don't know. Give me a better example. If you got a YouTube it, I'll look at it and tell you what I think. Falkenrath, you ready?
I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
hanging in there.
Right here, though, we're pausing it because you got a very interesting situation. You don't know where LeBlanc is. Shen just died. He just respawned. You know that Kindred is probably... Hey, thank you for the follow, man, Shen. You know that Kindred is probably bot side because she just took Dragon. And there's a Mark, which she's been super bloodthirsty for.
You stupid bitch.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm just trying to help you out.
The cat, man, just knocked over my beer.
Oh, that's the worst. Do you need a moment?
No, I'm using my shirt. It's fine.
Oh, God. Okay. If you need a moment, let me know.
I'll just turn off my webcam. It's fine.
All right. So right now, what I'm trying to get at, where's Kindred probably?
What Kindred? She's probably heading top. Still hasn't been marked.
Probably having top. Are you sure? 9:47. The enemy team has slain the Mountain Drake.
You're right. She just took the dragon.
Shin just respawned 2 seconds ago.
No. You're right. She's still down there in that area.
There's
so
a
we were
mark
talking
on
about
the
what-
Krugs.
Take the Krugs.
Well,
Is
there's
there a mark on the Krug?
there's a mark on your Krugs, not the enemy
No,
Krugs.
I was about to say. So I don't know. Start farming up her jungle.
Why would you? Okay, so think of it this way. What is better, jungle, Rift Herald, towers? Like, what's the most important thing to take right now?
Towers.
Okay, can you get a tower? You're pushing up this wave. Are you going to be able to take another tower?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Okay, so should you go for a tower?
No, if we did, we should rotate mid and get that tower. But
Yeah,
we don't know
with
where
Ziggs,
LeBlanc is.
sure. Something like that could work. You don't know where LeBlanc is. She's probably running back from Dragon since they just did Dragon. She's probably zoning there for Kindred to do the Dragon. So you can't get top tower. Mid tower probably going to be defended by Kindred and LeBlanc. Shin has his ult up now, so he can always help too. You got to think about that. But
Okay.
so probably not towers. Okay, what's next?
Rift Herald is coming up in what, 30 seconds?
Rift Herald is coming up in 2 seconds. I'm at
2
9:58. It spawns at 10.
So we could rotate towards that since I have a lead over Shin, and that'd be more oppressive.
Yeah. Also, you just shove this big old wave into his tower. He's gonna have to choose between farming that or giving up the experience to contest a 2v1. So right now, I would be ferociously pinging that Rift Herald.
Okay.
Makes sense?
So I should be more forceful about calling out those objectives when I'm ahead.
Yeah. Let's see what you're doing. And again, remember the metrics we were talking about? Hey, do you have more objectives than the enemy team?
Yeah.
Because that's how you win the game. You take all the towers so you can right-click the Nexus, right?
Yeah.
So you need to do all the things to take that. Rift Herald is a really strong buff on someone that can come from the other side of the map and just mess people up and then tower dive. And it'll be so good. It'll make it so Shin can't do anything to you. You want it. So what I'm saying here is you should be going for that. Let's see what you do. Your initial thought was, let's counter jungle Kindred. Well, right now she's counter jungling you. So if you trade her farm for your farm, are you coming out ahead as a team?
Not really, because she got a mark.
I mean, she got a mark, and she's getting probably the same amount of farm as you because she sees Sejuani top. If Sejuani's top, where is she not?
In her jungle.
She's not bot, so that means Kindred has free reign of this. So she's going to go down there and just take all this shit. If you take all this shit, it's a push, but like you said, she gets a mark, so she actually wins. If you take,
go back here, I don't remember what I do.
right, if you take Rift Herald right now, is it a good trade or a bad trade?
Good trade.
Good trade. Another reason Rift Herald is really easy to take on Pantheon, every 4 autos and abilities, you block one of its auto attacks. So, like, you can just take no damage just sitting there auto attacking it. And Sejuani can just hit the eyeball and be full health still. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, so
His
that's...
passive also procs off of his Q's, and his W brings up a new fresh of his passive.
Yep, his abilities. So you can, like, get hit by this with one auto attack and W, it reprocs it. Then auto Q, auto. If you have enough attack speed, you take no damage. If not, no worries. You get hit once, whatever. But you should be moving towards Rift Herald. I'm going to play. I'm at like 11:15 on the YouTube clock. We see Kindred bot. You're looking to ult a LeBlanc for some reason. Good ult. Might get her. Flash W. Cool. But Rift Herald is still very free. Kindred is still very bot. I like the map awareness. I like the play. Like I don't know if you're going to do anything down here.
Nope.
What probably should you have done instead? Here, let's pause.
Killed LeBlanc and then gone for Rift Herald since Kindred was bottom and LeBlanc was the only real person that could contest Rift Herald. We might as well Rift Herald.
Maybe, but what did we say earlier? What's more important than Rift Herald?
Towers.
Towers.
Tower.
Okay, so let's do this. They are the orange team. You are the blue team. Here is where everybody is right now.
Okay, mid is dead too.
Mid is dead, so let's move that mid back here.
Well, our mid is dead, I think, too.
Your mid is not dead. He was backing here with, like a fifth of his health bar. Here, like, I'll rewind a little. Let's rewind to, like, 11:30.
Oh, no, I believe you. Nope, I see him there in base. You're right. He didn't. Well, holy shit.
Like, he got very low. Oh, he did die. I'm horrible. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So you were right. I was wrong. Again, we've been coaching for, like, almost 3 hours now. Now, if he is smart, and I think he's your duo, and he sees that you're man dropping in, should he go up and let LeBlanc kill him?
No, he should just back out.
Yeah, he should just back out. You can harass his Ziggs from way far back there. God damn it, I missed that. But like, if he's here, he can actually hit people here with his Q. And if he throws his E in between him and her, she has to dash through his E. If he throws his W down, she has to dash into his W. You can actually interrupt her dash if you have fast fingers. Now, this is like bronze silver, so But still, he should just back up. You man drop in. She has to dash away from you. Then he can go up there because she can't use her dash to, gap close.
Okay.
But okay, let's imagine he didn't die. What's the correct decision? And then we'll imagine he did die.
Tower.
Yeah, take mid tower, right? Because you have a Ziggs, you just need to get it down to like 30% or whatever. He throws his W, free tower. Okay, Ziggs did die. What's the correct call?
Rift Herald?
Rift Herald, sure.
Yeah.
And I think Rift Herald would have been better. If you didn't man drop, you don't bait Ziggs into dying, right?
Yeah.
And again, like, if he played better, he wouldn't die, but, it's silver, it's bronze, it's whatever. All right, so let's watch this again. I rewound to like 11:15. Kindred's bot lane's bot backing. You're looking to alt mid. I like that you're looking to alt mid. That's good. You get the kill on her. Good flash to get the W off. This is good. I like that you shove this up. Let's see what you actually do. And then you rotate bot. This doesn't make any sense to me. Do you see why?
Yeah, and I couldn't tell you what I was thinking because this game is from so long ago.
You probably thought she was on the mark. But another thing you can do is you can just click her and see that she had a +1 to her mark, so that she's not there. I'm assuming like Thresh could also like walk in there and ward or throw his lantern or something and show that that's gone. But yeah, like, better thing would have been to put pressure on that tower. Sejuani's in the area too, so that can help. Or to take Rift Herald instead of chase like a jungler through your jungle, which may or may not be up. Make sense?
Yeah.
So again, like, looking at these metrics, looking at the objective control, like, you're probably going to have shittier objective control now because you're busy chasing a Kindred around instead of focusing on getting Rift Herald, getting towers, right?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep.
Cool. How much money for coaching? $1, man. White Fang, you're expensive, man. I do mine for free, Mavshan, but you gotta either get enough like Gunday show tickets from watching the stream, or you have to give me a heartfelt message explaining why you need coaching, and if it makes me laugh, I will do it. Those are the ways you get coaching. All right, let's keep watching this though. Like, he's going down here, Kindred's still down there. Now you're backing. You wasted a whole bunch of time, right?
Yep.
Okay, but you're buying your items. Good. Why the Ghosty Blade? What are you thinking there?
Full lethality.
Right. Why Ghost Blade and not one of the other lethality items you could buy?
For the speed.
For the speed. Okay, why do you need the speed?
Because Kindred is a slippery bitch.
Okay. Pantheon has the highest base movement speed in the game. I think he's tied with Master Yi.
Yeah. Don't knock over the glass of water.
Okay, I won't.
Okay.
I'm just trying to counter-argue your build here.
Yeah, no, he does have more movement speed. I don't know.
It has CDR, right? It has lethality, right? It has the active.
First item I had been going in all my first lethality builds. I think I also saw it on pro builds. So
Well, let's see. Maybe it's right. I don't know. I'm just trying to like get your thought process. Are you just doing it because that's what other people do? Or are you doing it because you have a reason? Another thing, right? Shin has a taunt, which is a dash. Looks like everybody's building it first.
Holy crap.
But I'm just saying, like, look at all these people rushing Ghostblade. It looks like they're not really winning that much. That's interesting, right?
Holy shit, what happened to Pantheon?
They're building him wrong. I told you, he's a CDR tank. But I don't know.
So that's my problem then with him. That's why I've been having so many problems with falling off, is because I've been following these builds.
Yeah, and
I still can't believe so many of them are losses. I wasn't playing him when he was this.
I'm just saying, like maybe this makes sense against a team of squishies, but most people will pick a tank. So I don't know, just something to think about, right? And also against this game, which we're looking at, LeBlanc has dashes. It doesn't matter how fast you're moving, you're probably not going to catch her. Kindred's Q is on a pretty short cooldown when her W is up, right? It's every few seconds. She's dashing away. Really hard to catch her, even with the Ghost Blade.
So what would be
Shen
your first
Taunt
item?
can dash away. You want something with AD, and you want something with CDR. So Ghostblade could be fine. In this situation, though, because everybody is so freaking dashy, I might get something like a BF sword type item. Like here, let's rewind a little.
What would
when
you
were
build
buying.
BF sword into though?
The one that reveals wards when you're roaming around. I forget what it's called. It's like the Nocturne item. Here,
Okay.
let me show
I'll look
you.
it up.
It builds out of the thing you have anyway. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like
She
Duskblade
still
of
hasn't
Drakthur or something. Yeah, like I'm assuming this Kindred isn't very good. Okay. See how you can just buy this red one right here? Duskblade?
Oh, Duskblade, yeah.
That one gives you, I believe, here, let's look at it. I think it's movement speed out of combat. Look at what it gives you. I'm just looking for Duskblade. Hopefully it's the first one. The Duskblade of Drakthar! Alright. 65 AD. Let's actually compare this to, the item you did buy. And just do like, hey, is this good, is this bad kind of thing, right? Alright.
Yeah.
So Yomu's 60 AD. So you're getting more AD. Lethality, you get 15. Yomu's, you get 15, I think, right? 15.
Yeah.
10% CDR from Yomu's, you get no CDR from this. But you get 20 movement speed out of combat. Yomu's, you get 20 movement speed out of combat, so that's equal. So the only thing extra you're getting from Yomu's is 10% CDR, and the active, which lets you speed up, which won't do anything for like most of their team because they have dashes.
Yeah.
And you're up against the Nautilus. If he clicks E, your movement speed gets halved or whatever by his slow, right?
Yeah.
Duskblade, after being unseen, remember you're probably going to ult into fights, so you're going to get this. Your next basic attack on whoever poor squishy you W auto QE to is going to get bopped a little bit harder. And also, every 90 seconds you get to clear wards in an area. Wards are worth experience and goal and keeps your team safe, right? And helps with objective control.
So White Fang is saying Ghostblade.
Why Ghostblade though, White Fang? Why? I don't agree. And no, normally you can be like, okay, this costs 3,200, Ghostblade costs 2,900. So you're putting an extra 300 gold in to get 5 AD extra, because 65 more on this. But I think this is going to do more for you just because you can't use the active on Ghostblade into this team comp. Because LeBlanc is dashy, Kindred is dashy, Nautilus is going to slow you to make it worthless. Shin's taunt, if he taunts over a wall, does it matter that you're going really fast? That's how my logic is working. The cooldown reduction I agree with, because you do want cooldown reduction on Pantheon. So like my next item that I would recommend would be like a Black Cleaver type item, which gives you 20% CDR, stacks lethality for your team. Your E is like hit, so you're melting that armor, shredding that armor for your team. Like that'd be pretty good. Your team of all AP also, so like it's kind of weird. But I'm thinking you want the bigger AD item because it'll hit a little bit harder. It'll give you this. It'll let you clear wards too, so they'll constantly be worried about that Pantheon that's roaming that they can't see on the map. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, he seems to still strongly disagree with you.
Yeah, and that's fine. This is good. Like, let's argue about it. If he has good points, like, fuck, listen to him. I mean, I got level 7 mastery on Pantheon. I've played quite a few games. Against this kind of team comp, I believe the Ghostblade active will not do shit for me. Because they're just going to dash away or whatever. And again, Nautilus will slow. I think this one, when, Jin ults and you ult on his face, will give you more burst damage, will allow you to finish him off a little bit easier. But I don't know. Maybe White Fang's right. White Fang is a very good player. I like that the CDR makes you do more damage. I agree with that. Like, you do want CDR on Pantheon.
So if you took Duskblade, what would be the CDR item you went with?
Black Cleaver next. 20% CDR from that, right? Makes you a little tankier. Remember,
Okay.
Pantheon likes health because of his passive, right? You're blocking every 4 autos. So the more health you have, like, the more effective health you have. You don't necessarily need to stack armor on him because of that, but you do need health.
Yeah.
So that'll be really good. Usually you get like 10% from runes and masteries. If you're killing whoever has blue buff on the enemy team, cool. You got 40%, you're capped. If they have a bunch of auto-attacking people, this game they have Jin and Kindred, so you might be thinking Ninja Tabby if your job is to tank. If they don't, CDR boots are super cheap. They make it so you can flash and teleport more often, so more flash Ws. This game, they have a lot of CC. You might want like Merc Treads just for Shin Taunt, LeBlanc Snare, Nautilus's entire kit. So you got some decisions there, but Black Cleaver gets you 20%. It's probably second item core on Pantheon this current patch. And you need at least one big AD item up front, because if you look at your AD ratios on like your Q and your E and even your alt has some, they hit really hard. Like, does your Q still have like 120%? Is it a little bit less? I forget.
I haven't played him a lot recently.
Yeah, like Pantheon has some of the largest AD ratios in the game. This is why White Fang is saying CDR is good. Like, look at this, 140% bonus AD. So that means if you have 100 AD, this does an extra 140 damage plus the base damage. So White Fang is saying, if I get Ghostblade, the cooldown, which is 4 seconds, is 10% lower. So, 10% of 4 seconds is 0.4 seconds. I'm just letting you know it's 0.4 seconds, so it's up every 3.6 seconds instead of every 4 seconds. That means you're getting an extra Q in over time. Now, another reason I don't like that on Pantheon is because like you're pretty mana hungry, so like it's kind of goofy. There's weird things you can do, like you can get one Doran's ring to make up for that. A lot of like game players will do that too, as weird as that sounds. But yeah, like he's right. You will do more damage over time. Other thought is you're probably never going to kill anybody with like your CDR poke because of, Shen having an ult, and again the dashes. So, so I don't know. I like the Duskblade better, just for like deleting people. You'll have more burst. You'll have less sustained damage, which is what White Fang is arguing for. But because I don't think you can use the active, and because I think you need more burst, I'm arguing for Duskblade here. And I don't think you can use the active because 3 champs of dashes plus Nautilus. Try it out. Yeah, like if White Fang is probably right. Again, he's smarter and better looking than me. So I would just try out both, see which one you like. It's probably situational. Like if there aren't a bunch of champs with dashes, sure, do Ghostblade, run them down. They're not going to be able to jump over walls, so just kill them. Ghostblade's probably better. So there you go. Like, try them. Figure out what you like. You're the player, and we're just giving you advice. But that is my reasoning. I think you get more out of that because you have enough gold to buy both of these, because you just backed like 3,000 gold or something. Oh no, you have the dirt.
If I was building Cleaver on him, so that's probably a problem because I was going full lethality and Guardian Angel.
Like see how it's in the essential items and Riot's saying Ghostblade is essential too. That's for hunting people down. Only reason I don't like Ghostblade is because again they're dashy, and we went over all that bullshit.
Okay.
This one really really good. There's a lot of hidden strength in that just from clearing the wards.
Ellie's locked up in the back. Ellie's inside. She did not get skunked.
Get to lane faster, chase down people, get away from people. I could see it. Remember, they have dashes, though, T-Lum, so you're not going to be able to use it to get away from people. LeBlanc is going to keep you locked down. Shin is going to taunt you. Like, it's not going to matter as much. It doesn't matter how fast you are if you're Shin taunted. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Different situation. Yeah, I'm talking to chat, too, Falkenrath. I agree with you if they have different team comp, but I think in this game particularly, this would be better. But yeah, Ghostblade or this, depending on team comp, you need some heavy-hitting AD item, and then after that, Black Cleaver, tank. And tank items like Mob Malmortis is a tank item. You get a pretty beefy shield. Dead Man's Plate lets you run faster to catch people, to murder people, right?
Yeah.
So there are these weird hybrid tank items. That's the kind of stuff I mean. And make sure in your runes you have 10% CDR, either scaling or like a mix of flat and scaling, just so you get...
I got lethality CDR runes on him, so
cool. I mean, that works too. But yeah, if you get Yomu's 10%, Black Cleaver 20%, 10% from your runes, you're at 40%, you're capped. Done. Don't have to worry about it. Pretty brain dead. 2 items, you're always going to get 2 items in a game.
Okay.
So this is pretty good. I think this game particularly, I don't want to beat the horse to death, but I think Duskblade would have been better just for random reasons, okay? But again, you want a big AD item just because you have these giant AD ratios on most of your abilities, right? Oh, not his ult. I said his ult too, but not his ult. But your E and your Q, big ratios, short cooldowns. So if you like lower that CDR, lower the cooldown rather, not the CDR, you're bopping people in the face over and over and over again. It's really good. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll try that build, see how it works out.
Yeah, like you really need one like lethality item. Ghostblade's fine, Duskblade's fine, and then like Black Cleaver, and then just build tank. That's Pantheon. Oh, you're gonna bop him? I'm looking like you could have teleported down there, but you see Shen up there. Okay, makes sense. Giant wave up there makes sense. Sejuani's wasted her ult on the support. Should be fine. I like that you're shoving the wave out. Now it's not the time to freeze. I'm gonna shove and then push it up there. By the way, I'm at 13 minutes and change on the YouTube.
I'm actually watching on the stream. I know it's like 30 seconds behind you, but it's easier than trying to follow you along because I
Got it.
Or
I'll see if I can fix that too.
ADD's a bitch.
Oh, yeah, so there's that time where the Ghost Blade would have been good, right? Here.
Yeah.
I'm going to rewatch. So when you're hunting him down, you didn't use your active immediately. I think you could have gotten him. If you used it right here. Use it a little bit later, then Kindred's there, then it's sad. She doesn't have all. You can probably just turn and kill her because she's only level 6, but probably safer. All right, let's see what you get. Ninja Tabby. I like that vibe because they have double 80 carry. That makes sense. I like this. You have teleport. You can go back top. Oh, are we going to do it? Yeah, do it. Do it. Oh, good. Perfect. Oh, he's dead. He's so dead. Nice. That was beautiful. That's exactly what you needed to do. Good job. And then you see Shen top.
Thank you.
You're going to walk up there. You're going to teleport.
I was holding my breath because I didn't remember how it went.
Oh, yeah, this is great. That's exactly what you wanted to do. I like the teleport here. You're going to save the wave. Shin has a Sunfire Cape, so if you stand next to him, you can make him draw aggro too, which is funny. And now you have the wave frozen.
I haven't ever thought about that.
Yeah, so this is great. Oh, and now you're freezing. Good. Try to freeze it a little bit farther out, but that's perfect. Great CSing under tower. Really good shit.
I also have a problem with consistency, to be honest.
Yeah,
sometimes
for sure.
I do great job CSing, sometimes I do horrible, and I can't figure out the common denominator.
Well, right now it's because your Fed is shit.
Well,
so it's a lot easier when you have all these items, right?
Early game as well. That's apparent in early game for me as well. I'll try to find you the contrast. I'll just spam Pantheon for the next week, and I'll try to show you.
White Fang's arguing Pantheon doesn't have invisibility. Remember, his ulti appears from elsewhere across the map. There is a little bit of a cooldown on the passive damage from that. Like, I can make an argument for it being worth. And again, like the
I'm gonna smack you.
The extra gold that you get from that item from clearing wards is one of the reasons it's a little strong right now. So, like, there's a lot of strength that's like that unseen bullshit that Riot keeps trying to nerf. Like, they got rid of the aura items. I think Frozen Heart is the only aura item left. But if you clear, like, let's call it 5 wards from Duskblade, you get 30 gold per ward, right? That's an assist. Yeah. You know, like there's a bunch of stuff, and then that's opening up the map for your team. That's making everything better. Like,
I
sure.
can see your argument for it. I know he's rather upset that you've recommended it, but you don't need to sell me on it. I'll try it.
Yeah, try both again. I'm just arguing with Whitefang because I love him to death. He's smarter than me, so I'm trying to like make sure I'm not missing something so I don't lead you astray. But Duskblade is a really strong item on champions that can build it well because of that passive that like removes wards from the game every 90 seconds.
Okay.
Shen misses his taunt. Go fight him. He's out of energy.
So I should have taken that fight.
Maybe. We don't know where Kindred is. Now we do. Yeah, now just fight him. He doesn't have a tower. You have your Ghost Blade, which you actually bought, right? Go hunt him down. What's he going to do? Like.
So I shouldn't have been farming here. I should have been
Yeah, just fight him. Hunt him down. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Ghost Blade. You don't need to flash there. Ghost Blade, right? You bought that item. Might as well use the active, right?
Oh, yeah, that feels bad.
But I mean, you see it, right? Like, okay, Kindred is there. LeBlanc is there. Bot lane is bot lane. He has no tower. What's he going to do? Just kill him. And good. I would definitely get Ninja Tabby, although it looks like you're trying to help your team, which is good. Yeah, just do it. Oh, this poor Jhin. I feel so bad. Nice. This looks like we randomly picked the Pantheon game where you just murdered everybody, right?
Yeah, I think this might have been one of the ones where I raffle stomped.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to stop watching in 18 minutes. I got what I need to see, right? I don't need to watch you guys shit on them for the next 10 minutes or whatever doing the Bronze A ramp. Okay, so run it back for me. What do we need to work on? What did we see that you sucked at here? Well, let's focus on that. Wave control was horrible. More important before wave control.
Trading.
More important before that. Basics first. Why does wave control matter?
Win lane?
Sure. Why does wave control matter for winning lane? Why does trading matter for winning lane?
Farm. Gold.
Farm. Gold. Work on farming. Your farming sucks. It was better than this Shen, but you know,
It was
do,
way
do,
better than Chen, which is terrifying.
you just beat up a kindergartner. Do you feel good about yourself? Right?
Yeah.
Work on your farm because you're only in first grade. Okay? Makes sense? And that's
Yeah.
that Elander's Guide to CS like a Challenger. I can walk you through some drills with the updated practice tool because it's different than that Reddit thread from like 5 years ago. There are better ways to do it. Work on that. If you farm and get to a point where, here, let's do this. I'm misspelling his name. It's not Islanders.
I can find it. I know where it is.
90% of farm without a lane opponent. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and I can't spell it all. Opponent. God, this is so hard
That's
right
still
now.
not right.
There we go. If we did it. But what I'm trying to say is, usually I go 6 waves. That's again 38 CS. Try to get 36 out of 38. If you can
Yeah.
consistently do that, meaning like you randomly like do 6 waves, you get 36 out of 38, go into ranked. You're good. If you can't, keep practicing until you do. If 20 minutes goes by and you can't get it, just, call it a day, try again tomorrow. Your brain will rewire itself when you sleep at night to be slightly better the next day.
Okay.
Your muscle
And should
memory
I
will
do
be
that
there.
before or after my ranked game?
I would do it before and after until you get the hang of it.
Okay.
Okay? Or if you get if you get shit on, you're probably going to be a little tilted, right? I know
Yeah.
I am. Cool down, some nice calming farming, put on some Yanni or whatever, I don't give a shit, some nice soothing
Also
new
teach
age
me to
bullshit.
farm when I'm tilted.
And it'll also teach you to farm when you're tilted, which is good, right? Because that's when your mechanics need to go through. But another side effect of this will be like all this preparation. People only feel pressure and stress when they're unprepared. If you're doing this and putting the work in, you'll be prepared. Like, sure, you're lost lane. Maybe the jungler pulled off a phenomenal gank, like blue flash and made something happen. Whatever. You're up 40 CS 5 minutes later because you did this. Okay?
Mhm.
So it's super boring, but do this. I want you to do this every day for 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
And as you get better, like it's like, okay, no lane opponent, free farm. Oh boy, this is easy. Level up. Go down the Elanders list. Next step. It's like
Okay.
alternate pushing and freezing the wave, something like that, or moving between each auto, something like that, right?
Mhm.
Make sense?
Yep. Makes sense.
All right, cool. All right, what's the other thing we needed to work on?
I don't remember.
No worries. There were a few times where you were a little inefficient with taking things.
My I don't even know how to express this. My auto queue auto. I don't even know how else
Sure.
to say that.
Here, mechanics.
Thank you.
Let's do that. So here, practice basic champion combos. Do you know the best way to figure out what those are first? Google it. Exactly. So here, if I wanted to learn Pantheon, all I'm going to do, Pantheon combos. Oh, look, Pantheon strategy. Pantheon standard combo. Let's look at videos. Pantheon Season 6 League of Legends. Let's click this. I don't know if Jack Sheet is any good. I'm assuming not from his name. Okay, that's actually not good. Here, let me show you a better resource. lolking.net. I've shown you this before in coaching sessions, right?
Yeah, you've shown me LOL King, Champion, GG, Pro builds. You've
Well,
shown.
let's do this. Champion guides. I'm going to search for Pantheon. And here, let me link this in the stream too, right? The featured ones are usually pretty good, but what I would like you to do is filter by LOL King score.
Okay.
Scroll down. Find the guy with 2,900, LOL King score, which is, I think, Challenger, if I'm not mistaken. The one who's updated really recently, too. I think he said he is the #1 Pantheon World Challenger Pantheon guide. And let's see what he has to say about, Pantheon combos, right? Looks like he wrote a whole bunch. Let's see if he has a stream. Maybe you can go ask him questions and he has 3 viewers for no reason,
Yeah.
About me, guide is not complete yet. Oh, skill combo. Here you go. Here's exactly how to do all of this stuff. Q, W, auto attack, E, and if the enemy still isn't dead yet, 1 more Q. Go practice that on a Teemo dummy in this, in the one thing. Got it?
You want me to ruffle stomp a badger?
I want you to raffle stop a badger. All right. And now let's see, does he have a stream? Here he's talking about, oh boy, look how good I am. Blah, blah, blah. Where's his Twitch? He's got to have a Twitch. Yeah. Here he has clips. He has YouTube.
That's I'm a cutie pie.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like he has a Twitch. But I mean, like, there's other Pantheon guides here too. Like, you can probably find a guy like here. This guy, you know, he's only 2,300. But maybe he has some videos. I don't know. He's on EU West, so maybe he's a shitter. But
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, look
I
through
get what
this.
you're talking about.
Look through this. You can probably find someone that can explain what the Pantheon combos are, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. And if you still can't find them, ask me, and I'll figure them out with you. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. One more thing, and then we'll call it a night.
Sounds good.
I want you to focus on objectives.
Okay.
So there's one time you're like chasing a jungler around. There's one time you're like chasing a LeBlanc around where you could have gotten Rift Herald. You know, you could have gotten a tower, stuff like that, right?
I'll just take some Ritalin before a game. That might also be partially ADD.
That could help.
Be like, oh look, a piece of candy.
And that game you didn't die at all, but I'm assuming since the other games were titled like Tilted, and you said the other two games you didn't stomp, or the other
Yeah.
one game, like we can probably learn a lot from those deaths. But right now, start with this. If you
Well-
get this farm thing, your goal at the beginning, I think, was gold 5. If you do this, you'll be gold 5 in a week if you can consistently do this on all of your champions.
Okay. Well, I don't know how much. If I'm gonna, I can get in 2 to 3 games a day, maybe 2. Probably
Oh,
2.
sure. What I want you to do is practice this, and what I'm saying is, if you can get to a point where you can get 95% of the farm without a lane opponent, and then you
Yeah.
go into a game, and you play, 2 to 3 games a week with this kind of gold coming in, you will get to gold 5 pretty quickly. Because you'll
Okay.
stop losing, because the games will be easy and the enemy team will just be minions. Okay?
Okay.
It sounds weird, but
And Pantheon's still
Do it.
strong enough to stick with him as long as I just switch to building him with CDR.
yeah, like Pantheon build, we can work on that too. I'll actually do some math tomorrow, like during my lunch break, and figure out like what it is. But Pantheon build is going to be something like, big damage item, Ghosty Blade or Dusk Blade. Only need one. And then your Black Cleaver,
Okay.
then tank items. Right?
Okay,
It-
GA is still a good idea for him because then I can do stupid ults that ult me into 5 of them, and maybe I kill the ADC.
Think of it this way: it depends on your team comp.
Yeah.
Like if you ult in and GA, and while your GA is proccing, it's a couple seconds, your team can follow up and protect you long enough for you to actually be useful. Sure, do it. If you're the only tank and they're all squishy, like GA is dumb because they're just going to leave you to die and laugh at you when you respawn.
Yeah.
So it's situational. If they're all squishy, you can go like that the glass cannon build that the pro build site says loses every game with GA. And thought is you jump in, kill someone, GA, your cooldowns are all back up, kill someone else, then you die. You take 2 for 1, that's worth. But
Okay.
better would be get 1 big damage item with lethality, Black Cleaver. You get more damage from that, more cooldown reduction, which White Fang has correctly said is your damage. Cooldown reduction equals damage on Pantheon. And your runes, you get another 10%. You're at like 30%. If you do Ghostblade in this, if you do Duskblade, you're going to need another 10% from somewhere. But get your CDR cap as quickly as possible in situational tank. If they have a whole bunch of magic damage, get Maw Malmortis. Get Spirit Visage, get Banshee's Veil, something like that. If they have a whole bunch of AD.
Banshee's Veil and Maw.
Yeah, if they have a whole bunch of AD, Randuin's, Deadman's, Ninja Tabby, something like that, right?
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but the thought process is if you build, 1 damage item, then Black Cleaver, and then straight tank, you jump in, they burn a bunch of shit on you, your cooldowns are up 3-4 seconds later. You don't have to wait for the GA revive, you're just killing people. And if they don't focus you down, you're just going to wipe them. And if they do focus you down, that means the other 4 members of your team are pretty much untouched while a terrifying Pantheon is like shitting on the team, right? So ideally they'll like use their abilities and right click the enemy team a few times and you'll give them the advantage.
Okay.
Make sense?
Use my aggro, yeah.
Exactly. So as Pantheon, early game, you have that really impressive laning phase. If you're farming well, you'll get your Ghostblade, Duskblade, you'll be terrifying. And then you transition to that mid-late game, into a CDR tank so that they can't one-shot you like every other Pantheon I see.
Okay.
If you go the glass cannon build, you're gonna shatter, right? If you go the tank build, your base damages are still super terrifying.
No, I agree.
So the thought is just become unkillable or become so tanky that it takes so many resources to kill you. And remember, your passive is blocking a bunch of shit too. They're just going to lose the team fight because they run out of stuff that they can use against the other 4 members of your team.
Build was probably part of my problem. Can you email me this list too?
Sure. I'm just going to copy paste from the ground up. Okay, that way you can get the Daddy Trundle video too.
Okay, sounds good.
Which you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Enjoy. Okay.
I'll check him out, Telam.
Any more questions?
No, I think that's enough for me to try to absorb.
Yeah, like this alone, just work on this. This will take like 10, 20, 30 minutes a day, depending on how much you want to do it. If you do that for a month, you'll be way better than everyone you're playing against.
Okay.
And yeah, like what Telam's saying, if he's recommending another coach, yeah, sure. Don't just stick with me, man. Stick with other people. Learn from as many different perspectives. Like have arguments like me and Whitefang did. He's probably right too. I'm probably wrong. Like go do that, then like do the math or think about it yourself. Figure out who's right. Like use that knowledge. Use the best knowledge you can get.
Well, I mean, you were my first coach, so I'd rather listen to you anyway since I got out of bronze with you.
Okay. I mean, sure. I'm just saying there are better
got
people.
Me out of bronze?
Yeah, something like that. But I think all I did was like, hey, stop talking shit to your team.
It's still a problem with that, but
I mean, but
it's not as bad. Let's be fair. It's gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'll take a look at that.
Okay. I'm gonna copy pasta this list into email for you, and I'm gonna play a few games because, like, Sejuani right now is playable. She's not strong, but she's playable, and I'm relearning her damage of my goofy build.
I'm actually gonna go make dinner now because I haven't eaten yet.
2 a.m. I remember you're like a weird EMT type guy, right?
Yeah, it's 10:30 my time.
Oh, nice. Also, you're in California time. Word.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But I did skip out on dinner, so I wouldn't be late.
All right. All right. Well, thanks, man.
Do that. Yeah, absolutely. I'll catch some of your stream. Thanks for the session. Next Tuesday.
Yep, we're gonna keep it going. I think every Tuesday we're gonna get this guy. I'm gonna see how high I can get him, guys. And I am emailing him, which is why the screen is black, because I'm assuming he doesn't want you guys to all know his personal information. Unless I'm wrong, Falkenrath, but
Whatever.
Whatever.
They